Yes, so hello everyone. Good evening. All those Vallath students in the Zoom and also our YouTube babies on the YouTube. A very good evening. We are starting with the marathon revision today. So we just planned with starting of the paper one this time. So usually we do the paper two at first and then paper one. But now like we have the paper one dedicated course too, and they all have the exam on 31, starting from 31. And all those literature students, you have the revision, exam on December 5. So I think the UGC net exams are going to happen from 31. So that is what we planned, marathon revisions on entirely 2 days. That is for paper one, 29 and 30. That is today and tomorrow. You will have revisions on paper one entirely, holistic revisions on all those topics from paper one. So today we will deal with research, aptitude, and logical reasoning. Good evening, everyone. In the Zoom, our students are here in the Zoom. Guys, all our YouTube babies are also joining from the public live that is going here. Yes. Yeah, good evening, everyone. So it's like, we'll discuss the questions regarding with the research, aptitude, and logical reasoning. These are this will be the questions that we already discussed in the classes or in the PYQ sessions, but some new questions are also there. And regarding with the YouTube babies, like all those concepts, all those revisions, all those online live series, all we have conducted, it will be like definitely you can use all those things, to answer these questions, and it will be simple and it will be very easy also. So we can relate, no, we can revise all those topics now. Okay. So ready, everyone? Yes. So the first question, I'll be going a little bit slow because I need to check the answers of YouTube babies also. Here they are chatting with me now. Okay. See, if a research project is set up so that everybody in the population of interest has an equal chance of being included in the sample, the research involves dash. What is that? Quota sampling, judgmental sampling, probability sampling, convenience sampling. Yes. Yes, I have the answers here from the online Zoom people, and they are from the YouTube babies also. Great. It's good. It's actually probability sampling. Okay, probability sampling. See, guys, quota, judgmental, and convenient sampling are example of another type of sampling called what dash. Quota sampling, judgmental sampling, and convenience sampling are other type of sampling called, it is a non-probability type of sampling. So types of sampling is very important. So it is a non-probability type of sampling where convenience sampling is chosen according to the accessibility and availability of the researcher. The sample is chosen according to the availability and convenience. That means to the accessibility of the researcher. Judgmental sampling, what are the other name of judgmental sampling? What are the other name of judgmental sampling? What are the other names? We have studied many names for judgmental sampling. And there was a question previously asked regarding with the judgmental sampling too. The other name for judgmental sampling are deliberate sampling, purposive sampling. Okay, all those things that you remember. Very good. Quota sampling, it's actually there is a fixed minimum or maximum number that is the researcher is going to select into the sample. Okay. Purposive means here there is a specific need for the research. That means maybe like you are from students in a school, you are going to select differently abled students. So that is a purposive sampling. Okay. These are examples for purposive sampling. So probability sampling, there are another probability, four types of probability sampling too. Simple random and systematic sampling, stratified sampling, and cluster sampling. These are the four types of probability sampling. So sampling is very important. That's very mandatory that you should study regarding with the sampling methods. Okay. So the next question. Qualitative researchers criticize quantitative research for its tendency towards what? Yes, I need the answer from everyone. Emphasis on evidence, focus on empiricism, reductionism, obsession with creativity. Which one? Okay. Qualitative researchers criticize quantitative research for its tendency towards. Yes, can I have the answer from the YouTube? Okay. Reductionism, some reductionism here. There were some option called obsession with creativity and all things were there. And then focus on empiricism was there. Okay. So all those qualitative researchers, okay, maybe like you, literature people are going to do qualitative research and you are thinking that you are not so much creative and quantitative research people are more quantitative. No, it's not actually. Obsession with creativity is not a common criticism by qualitative researchers to quantitative researchers because both of them have creativity. Obviously, a research it should be creative, so both of them should have creativity. It's actually reductionism. The answer is reductionism. Why reductionism? Because what do you mean by reductionism? It is a sort of analysis, or maybe like we are breaking down a higher part, maybe like a very tough or a complex elements into simple constituent elements, simple elements. Maybe like we can call a method called chunking. Maybe like a big unit into small units. That is where the qualitative researchers criticize the quantitative research. Okay, that is what, yeah, reduced into quantities. That's what. So it is reducing. So that is why, that is where the criticizing happens. So criticism happens. So that is reductionism. Okay. The next one. You want to match the two sets. Okay. There are quantitative research method, observation method, ethnographic method, qualitative method. Yes. It's easy that you can go with ethnographic and then go with the answer because you'll get C, ethnographic method, because you know that you're going to study about a specific culture or maybe like what people regarding with the people you're going to study. Yeah, C4 you can relate with. So then it is easy that with C4 you have two options, 2 and 3. And then from there you can filter out for any other options, maybe like qualitative or quantitative, you can go with. Yeah, everybody's answer here it is in the Zoom. I have 2. Yes, it is 2 only. Great. In the YouTube also it is 2. Yes, guys, I can see the right answers coming in the YouTube chats also. Great. Super. That's super. So you have a very great idea about the research methods. Good. So quantitative goes with the involves of use of computational statistical. Yeah, great. Because quantitative is like that. Qualitative, obviously, it is in-depth understanding of things, the methods. See, ethnography is regarding with the study of the people or anthropogenic activities. You are going to study about the anthropogenic activities and all. That's what it is. Ethnography. That's it. Next one. Sampling cases. This is a PY. Sampling cases means sampling using a sampling frame, identifying people who are suitable for a research, literally the researcher's briefcase, or sampling of people, newspapers, television programs, etc. This is a PYQ. I think we have discussed this in the classroom also, sampling cases. Sampling cases. Read like that. Sampling cases. There should be a pause. Sampling cases. It's not like sampling cases. Okay. So the pause should be very clearly given. Then only you can get the answer. Sampling cases. Okay. Now you will get the answer. Okay. You are going to sampling cases. Yes. It is not sampling cases. Yeah, correct. Because you're going to take the samples of or sampling of people or maybe newspapers, television programs like that, cases. You're going to sample the cases. That is what you mean by sampling cases. Okay. It's not the identifying Identifying people who are suitable for research is sampling. Or maybe like you can, that's a sample there, or maybe like you are identifying the population. Okay, for suitable for research. No, it's not actually you're suitable. You're relevant for the research is actually population, not suitable for research. It's not sampling cases. Okay, so that's what. The next one. Academic writing, the abbreviation FN dot is used to represent dash. There are some lame options given. No, it is forenoon is given. Don't have anything to do with forenoon in academic writing. So footnote, forward page number, following page number. Yeah, you have all written academic writing because you have all written research reports and all. Great. Yeah, it's actually footnote. The answer is footnote. Yes. The answer is footnote. Second one. Next one. Arrange the following components of a research paper written in APA style in the correct order. You need these things in the correct order. Figures, methods, introduction, tables, results. So we are very sure that we have introduction, but every option we have introduction as the beginning one. The next thing that you want to make sure of, which one is the next one? Is it methods or is it results? And then after it's results, or maybe like if you confirm that there are three options with the two starting, two in the second position. So it's little bit complicated, but you can get the answer if you have an idea regarding with the research paper in an APA style. Yes, the answers. Yeah, I have the answers from the YouTube also. Very good. Site is very correct. The option 3 it is given, but the answer is option 2. 3, 2, 5, 4, 1. It is actually you're thinking that it is 1, 4, 5 figures. Obviously, the results should come first before, and then only the tables and the figures are coming. Okay. The first one is introduction anyway. The next one it will be methods, and then the next is results, and then comes the tables, and then comes the figures. That is how the components of a research paper is arranged in an APA style. What do you mean by an APA style? What is an APA style? We have studied the writings of APA style like through an encyclopedia, how to write in a citation style, in maybe like what is taken from an encyclopedia in a article in a book, how to represent in a book and all. See, what is APA? What is APA? It is American Psychological Association. Okay, that is what you call as APA, American Psychological Association, and it is a citation style. It is a citation style. You have MLA also, Modern Language Association too. Yeah. Next one. Given below are two statements. Snowball sampling is a type of random sampling. Statement 2. Snowball sampling is helpful when participants belong to hard to reach groups. Choose the most appropriate answer. Statement 1 and 2 are correct. 1 and 2 are incorrect. 1 is correct. 2 is incorrect. And 1 is incorrect. 2 is correct. So which is the option that you think? Yes, YouTube guys, you are also telling the right answers. For the last question, you are getting the answers. They're correct. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Very good. You're telling the answers. Yes. So the answer is 4 correct. Statement 1 is incorrect. Snowball is a type of random sampling. No, it is not a type of random sampling. It is a type of non-probability sampling. Snowball is a type of non-probability sampling. And what is the other name for snowball sampling? What is the other name for snowball sampling? Yes, exactly. That is called a chain referral sampling. It is also called a chain referral sampling, network sampling, correct? Network. It is a network following. Maybe like money chain, it is an example of a snowball sampling. We are asked to find refer one sample to the other. That's what referral. Oh, and what is one is incorrect. So, and now snowball sampling is helpful when participants belong to hard to reach. That's correct. Next one. So, what is not a research? What is not a research? So, read the question very carefully and the options very carefully, and then go with the options. Yes. Yes. I can see the options on the chat box in the YouTube also. Very good. You're all telling the right answers for snowball sampling. Yeah, great. Here, the answer for this question. Yes, everyone. Very good. Just when you read the options, you can get the answers. And don't think that maybe like there will be analytical type of questions. Maybe like this one word question will be a one word question, but the options will be very large. Maybe like the questions will be very large. You have the options also a little bit lengthy. What you want to do, like, take time to read. You can use the elimination of options in that strategy you can use here. Okay, don't go and read with every option and then find out. So that's what. So the answer is 3 here. It is research is based on common sense knowledge, based on the accumulated experiences and beliefs of the people. That is not a research. Other all things are research. Okay, that's it. Next question. Some of the types of hypotheses are as follows. Some of the types of hypotheses. So which are the types of hypotheses that we studied? Is it descriptive, null, confounding, intervening, explanatory? There will be different names, but you can also go with which are not the types. That is also a strategy, which is not the types, and you can eliminate that. Yes. Descriptive, null, confounding, intervening, explanatory. That is causal hypothesis. Yes. Okay. See, what is a confounding? What is confounding? Is it a hypothesis? What is confounding? Is it a hypothesis? What do you mean by confounding? Is it a hypothesis? No, it's not a hypothesis. It's a variable. It's a type of variable. See, it's a type of variable that you have. So what you want to do is you can eliminate that option. Confounding is a type of variable. So C, all those options with C you can eliminate. 3 and 4 you can eliminate easily. And intervening. What do you mean by intervening? What is intervening? It is also a variable, right? It is also a variable. So options with the D also you can eliminate. So the answer is A, B, E only because descriptive is a hypothesis. Descriptive hypothesis is there. That means our symbol or complex hypothesis can be said as descriptive hypothesis. Null hypothesis is there. What do you mean by null hypothesis? It is a hypothesis which is stated contradictory to our original hypothesis, null. It is represented by H0. Okay. You should remember all those things. Causal hypothesis. Causal means oneness. That means a cause and effect relationship is stated in the hypothesis. That is a type of hypothesis, causal hypothesis. Okay. Confounding and intervening are the types of variables that we studied. Confounding means the variables or the extra variables which makes false correlations in the study. Intervening variable, that is a connection variable which is used to explain the connection between two one independent and dependent variable. Okay, all those things that we studied. So that is how we go to the options. So A, B, E, descriptive, null, and explanatory are the types of hypothesis that we have. Confounding and intervening are the types of variable that we have. Okay, so that's it. Identify the qualitative research designs from the list given below. You should identify the qualitative research designs. Identify the qualitative research designs from the list given below. Exploring common experiences of individuals to develop a theory. Controlling, manipulating, observing, and measuring the effect. Exploring the shared culture of a group of people. Exploring individual stories to describe the lives of people. Extending generalizations from sample to population. Yes, answer. It's very easy if you know about qualitative research. See, the one option that you can eliminate is, what is the option that you can, what are all the options that you can eliminate with? Exactly. See, here, 2, that means that second statement, controlling, manipulating, observing, and measuring the effect. What is that type of research called? What is that type? Of controlling, manipulating, observing. It is done in quantitative research. Okay, it is done in quantitative. That means maybe like it can be experimental, correlational. So it is quantitative. So there you can eliminate that statement too. That means options with that statement too. You have every options, like means 2, 3, and 4 have option 2 or statement 2 in that. Only option without statement 2 is 1. So that will be the answer. That is 1, 3, and 4. 1. Exploring common experiences of individuals to develop a theory. What is that type of qualitative research method called? What is that type of research method called? Exploring common experiences of individuals to develop a theory. That means maybe like a common problem is given to the society and then made a theory out of that. What is that called? What is that qualitative research design called? Maybe like a situation is given to a social, maybe a society, and then how people react to it. We are developing a theory from how people react to it. That is what you call as grounded theory. Grounded theory research. Have you heard of it? Grounded theory. Yeah. We have studied that grounded theory. That is what you call as grounded theory. Okay. Exploring the shared culture of a group of people. Culture. What is that type of research? Culture of group of people. It is actually ethnographic research. Ethnographic research. These are all qualitative research methods that we have. Okay. So going to the next question. Criteria for hypothesis construction are. Criteria for hypothesis construction are. It should describe one issue only. It should describe many issues. It should specify variables between which the relationship is to be established. It should be specific and precise. It should be empirically testable whether it is right or wrong. Yes. Yeah, I have the answers here from the YouTube babies also. The option that you have. Great. Okay. Let's say C, D, and E you are filling. Yes. It should describe one issue. It should describe many issues. No. It should specify variables between the relationship is to be established. Correct. It should be specific and precise. Correct. It should be empirically testable. Correct. Because it is no well that is the part where we test the hypothesis whether it is true or false. Right. Then we have a type of errors when we accept or reject the null hypothesis which is true or false like that. So it should be empirically testable. That is why that is a specialty of hypothesis. Okay. We studied different types of hypothesis too. Okay. That's all are very important. Study that. So there will be questions from hypothesis. Next one. A study meant to discover whether variables co-vary relates to dash. Case study, longitudinal research, correlation research, exploratory research. 2, 3 different options. The answer is correlation research. A study meant to discover whether variables co-vary. Co-vary means like if it is there is a variable a relationship between the variables. That is correlation research. Longitudinal research means it's you are studying about a variable over a period of time. Exploratory means you are finding a in-depth research is there conducted, exploring reasons. Because like we are more focusing on why, the question why, not what, why. Okay, that's what. That is exploratory. Correlation means exhibiting a relationship between two variables. Okay, that means whether variables co-vary. And we studied the correlation coefficient. There are different tests I told you. Please remember the name of the test. There are Carl Pearson's test and then Spearman's correlation coefficient also is there. Carl Pearson's correlation coefficient is there. There are different statistical methods to find correlation. And then we studied about the correlation coefficient values, which are the values that will come for the correlation coefficient, correlation of a variable. What are the range of values that will be there for a correlation coefficient? The range of values will be from -1 to +1. Okay, -1 to +1. If it is the value of the correlation coefficient is close to -1, we can say it is a dash. What is that? If the value is close to -1, after when doing the correlation research, we have a correlation coefficient to find out. We have different statistical methods like Carl Pearson's method, Spearman's correlation method, all those things are there. So there we will get a coefficient. We will get a value that is called a correlation coefficient. And that value will be between -1 and 1. If it is close to -1, it is called a negative correlation. Okay. And if it is close to positive 1, it is called if it is close to positive 1, it is called a positive correlation. Okay. And if it is close to 0, it is called a zero correlation. So these are the three cases with the correlation coefficient, and the correlation coefficient is represented by usually by R. Okay. Small letter R. Okay. Small letter R. Okay. All those things, just get the idea. Maybe like you can, if you have in-depth questions also, you can attempt. Next one. Application of ICT in research is relevant in which of the following stages? Survey of related studies, data collection in the field, data analysis, writing the thesis, indexing the references. See, these are options, you should very keenly observe the statements and then go to the options. That's what. Maybe like we'll feel that all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be there. Like all those cases, all those stages we will use ICT. Then why there is a differentiation here? So what we can do? What is mentioned as R? It is actually R. The correlation coefficient is mentioned as R. Yes, the answer is 2. I think you are telling here also it is 2. Yeah, it is 2 only. 1, 3, 5. See, guys, it is 2. It is data collection in the field. Data collection in the field. Okay. So it is specifically given in the field. So obviously, a field data collection may not be may not be an application of ICT in that. And writing the thesis, in writing the thesis, you may not have an application of ICT. That's what they are taking all those things granted for. Okay, that's what. So application of ICT is relevant in which of the following means? It is survey of related studies is relevant, data analysis is relevant, and also indexing the references. Whether you have data collection in the field as it is given, you may not have application of ICT in that. Writing the thesis also, you do not have writing the thesis because you are writing, not with the help of an ICT, right? That's what. Yeah. List 1, you have a list 2 and key terms used in research and description of terms. You can easily go with the answers. What do you mean by hypothesis? What do you mean by sample? Research designs, research tool. Okay, you're telling it is 4. Here also. Okay. Yes, the answer is 4 only. 1, 3. Hypothesis, that is a tentative statement indicating potential solution of the problem of study. That is a tentative statement. Okay. A statement made, an assumption made on the basis of some evidence. Okay. And what is the evidence? That is a review of the literature that we have. And 2, 4, sample, a subset drawn from a defined set. So what is a defined set? What is that defined set? What you call a defined set? What do you call that defined set? That is a subset drawn from a defined set. So what is that defined set? Exactly. That is a population. Okay. That means the entire group relevant for the research study is called the population. That means a bigger circle. From that, you are sorting out, yet you are taking a subset. That means that these members will, that the members in the sample will be member of the population also. Okay. So there is a big circle called population, and from that you are taking out sample. That's a subset. That is what you call sampling or sample. Okay. Research designs. That's a conceptual framework, and research tool will go with the techniques used for collection of facts and information. Okay, that's what. You should put the following in the correct order for writing the body of a research paper. Procedures, introduction, conclusions, results, and abstract. Which one will come first? Then you will get the idea. Then easily you can go with, because I think there are two options again. No, it's easy, I think. Yeah. You're telling it is 1. Okay. Going with the options. Yes, the answer is 1 because the abstract is written in a research paper, and then we are going with the introduction, then procedures, then results, and then finally we have conclusions as the option. So option 1 is the correct answer. Yes, correct. I have the answers from the YouTube chat also. Very great. The answers are 1 there. Good, good, superb. Sampling, in which sampling units are selected on the advice of some experts or by the intuition or opinion of the researcher himself, is known as. Okay. It is selected on the advice of some experts or by the intuition or opinion of the researcher himself. Opinion or researcher himself. That is a keyword. That is a keyword. Opinion or intuition of the researcher himself. Yeah, it is actually what is called judgmental sampling or judgment sampling. What are the other names for judgmental sampling? What are the other names for judgmental sampling? The other names for judgmental sampling, it is purposive sampling. Yes, deliberate sampling, authoritative sampling. All those are other names for judgmental sampling. Authoritative sampling, purposive sampling, deliberate sampling. Okay. See, there I told you there the researcher is having some need. So obviously there, like if you remember the image that I've given you in the PowerPoint, it's actually selecting a specific person, those who have a spotlight. The spotlight is there. The researcher is having a spotlight, and those spotlight which is to whom this spotlight is there, only that person will be selected. That's the researcher himself have an opinion or intuition. Okay, that means maybe like I told you, from a school of from a students, a group of students, you are going to select differently able students only. So it is actually judgment sampling, okay, or a purposive sampling. It's the next question. The probability sampling procedures are mostly used in which of the following researches? Survey, experimental, phenomenology based researches, action researches, correlation design based. Yeah. Probability sampling procedures means everybody will have an equal chances to be selected. So which of the following will be there? Which of the following researchers that you will use probability sampling techniques? Because you should not have a biasing in the sampling procedure. So in that type of methods or research methods, you should select probability sampling. There should not be any biasing in the sampling process. That's what. No snowball sampling or those non-probability sampling have a biasing. That means only everybody in the population don't have an equal chances to be selected. Only a certain people have an chances to be selected to the sampling sample. Yes. The answer is 1, 2, 5. Okay. So it is actually phenomenology based means it's actually you have descriptive research. It is actually describing a phenomenon. Okay, that is type of a qualitative research that you have. So for that you don't need probability sampling. Okay. Survey researchers definitely you need probability sampling. Experimental research you need a probability sampling. Okay. And then correlation. Basically for a quantitative research, mostly for a quantitative research, you will need a probability sampling procedure. Mostly for a quantitative type of research, not every quantitative research, mostly for a quantitative. So here you can assess like that or analyze like that. Survey, experimental, correlation are all quantitative. Phenomenology means it's like a descriptive research that we studied, describing a phenomenon like that. Action research, so it is a type of qualitative research that we have. Okay, that's what. Action research is not generalizable, so that we cannot have a probability sampling method. See, that's what. And we cannot choose everyone for the action research. Action research is based on a specific case or a situation. So it may not be available for every sample. Maybe like we cannot generalize that. That's why action research does not need probability sampling. See, that's what. A researcher attempts to evaluate the effect of the method of feeding on anxiety proneness of children. Which method of research would be appropriate? Yes, it will be available, yes. A researcher attempts to evaluate the effect of method of feeding on anxiety proneness. Is it case study? Is it experimental? Is it ex post facto? Or is it survey method? Okay. Different answers. Here also different answers. I have different answers from the YouTube live or YouTube chats also. See, it is actually ex post facto method, right? This question we have discussed already. See, evaluate the effect of the method. That means after the research, the post fact, ex post. Okay. So the after the fact research is done. After the fact research. So there is a fact. So after that, so evaluating the effect of that method. That is ex post facto only. Yeah. Now we are, yes, yeah, it's it. Now we are going to the logical reasoning parts. Yes, arrange the following in order of increasing connotation. What do you mean by connotation? Firstly, what do you mean by connotation? Connotation, yeah. That is the emotions, maybe the extra meanings associated with the word. Okay, that's connotation. So here what we have to go with the increasing connotation of this. It's fielder, ball player, baseball player, athlete. So increasing means you should start from a base and then go to more specific things, more and more specific. Maybe like the first one will be more general, and then the last one will be more specific, more specific. So what is that? It's actually what we have, ball player. Yes, it is BACD, ball player, then fielder, then the baseball player, then an athlete comes. Okay, see, ball player means it can be any ball player generally. Any ball player it can be. Next one is fielder. Maybe like in a fielder in a cricket or a football or anything. Then comes the next specific thing, baseball player. Very specific. Then comes next the athlete. Very specific thing called athlete. That's how the increasing connotation works. BACD, that's ball player. That is the first general thing. So from that you can get the idea, ball player. So that is a vague idea. Ball player means it can be basketball, football, cricket, baseball, anything. Any ball player can be. Okay. So then comes the next one. What we have, fielder. That's also the specificity is increasing. So then comes baseball and then comes the athlete. That's how increasing connotation. Decreasing means from the specific to the general one. That's what. No, athlete won't be a base because more specific is athlete. The specific one is athlete. Every no the or maybe like a ball player or a fielder cannot be an athlete, right? Yes, it should be in an increasing order. This is an increasing order. Connotation in an increasing connotation. We have decreasing connotation also at some times. Yes, it is from. Yes, Gauri. Now, in accordance with the square of opposition, which pair of statements are subalternate? Subalternate. Yes, from the YouTube chats. It's so vague actually, no, but you can get the answer. Yeah, the connotation, increasing connotation means you are having from the most, the specificity should increase. That's what. Yeah, here the option. See, it's very easy. What do you mean by subalternate? In the square of opposition diagram, the subalternate, in a subalternate pair, we have the universal proposition and a particular proposition. So the pairs of subalternation or subalternate, what are the pairs or which are the pairs of subalternate in square of opposition? The pairs are A and O. Okay. Sorry, A and I. A and I and E and O. A and I, E and O. Subaltern. It is actually into the edges, side edges. A, I, E, O. That means universal affirmative or universal positive, particular affirmative. Particulars, universal negative and particular negative. That is the subalternate pairs. So it is A and I, E and O. Here, what is all dogs are mammals? It goes with A. Okay. And no dogs are mammals goes with E. Some dogs are not mammals goes with O. Some dogs are mammals goes with I. So basically A and D should come, and also E and O is also there. But see the options. Only A and D is there. No B and C is there. So that will be the correct option, A and D. That is how you go with the options. Don't get confused. You have all those categorical propositions. Then how will we go with the options? How will we finalize the option? This is the thing. In the options, there will be a clarity. So go with the option also. Clear. The next one. In the statement, no dogs are reptiles, which terms are distributed? In the statement, no dogs are reptiles, which terms are distributed? Is it only subject term, only predicate term, both subject and predicate terms, neither subject nor predicate? Exactly. In the case of which is the type of the categorical proposition? No dogs are reptiles. Which is the type of categorical proposition? Yeah, it is a universal negative E type. So in an E type, the subject, that means which is a subject, that is a dogs. Reptiles is a predicate. Both subject and predicate are distributed. So the answer will be both subject and predicate are distributed. So it is an E type. So every type, A type, E type, I type, O type, all have distribution of terms. So you should definitely study of the distribution of terms. And then from the Venn diagram, it is easy to study the distributions. Okay. The sun has risen in the east every day so far. Therefore, the sun will rise in the east tomorrow also. This is an example of deductive, analogical, inductive, fallacy. It's not a fallacy actually. It's a type of a reasoning only, not a fallacy. Because we cannot tell that it is a fallacy. Is it deductive? Is it analogical? Or is it inductive? You all go with deductive. Okay, good. Okay. See, what do you mean by deductive reasoning? What do you mean by deductive reasoning? General to specific. And then what do you mean by inductive reasoning? What do you mean by inductive reasoning? It is particular to general. See, it's actually what we have here as the particular or specific situations here, right? What is that? Sun has risen in the east every day. Every day is actually a specific thing. In each day, maybe like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it have risen on the east. So definitely from there is a general conclusion taken, it will rise in the east tomorrow also. That is a general conclusion taken from all those specific cases on every day. So there is a keyword called everyday given. So we have a specific cases called everyday sun is rising like this. So Monday, maybe like you can read the statement like this. Sun has risen on in the east on Monday. Sun has risen in the east on Tuesday. Sun has risen in the east on Wednesday. So like that every day, so far it has risen in the east. So from that specific statements, we had a general conclusion that therefore the sun will rise in the east tomorrow also. That's what. So that is a inductive reasoning, not a deductive reasoning. Understood? That is a keyword where east every day so far. That's what. So from that keyword, you should analyze that and then go with the option. The answer is inductive reasoning, not deductive reasoning. Clear, guys? Okay, I think my explanation is clear. Moving on to the next one. If one of the contradictories is true, then the other must be. If one of the contradictories is true, then the other must be dash. Yeah. It must be false. It must be false. Very good. Must be false. See, which are the pairs of contradictories? Which are the pairs of contradictories? Which are the pairs of contradictories? We have in the square of opposition, we have pairs of contradictories. Yeah, the pairs of contradictories are A and O and E and I. That means the vertically opposite pairs in a square of opposition. Okay, A, O and E, I. So the rule of the contradictory is that if one of the contradictories is true, that means if A is true, E must be false, and the vice versa. If A is false, O must be true. That's what. Of course, you want to buy a golden pear brand phone. Golden pear phones look good in one's hand, and all the Bollywood stars can be seen carrying them these days, which fallacy is committed in the above argument. Very easy. We have discussed this question already. Yeah. That means comparing, that means with the, yeah, there is a fallacy there. It is actually appeal to the people or argumentum ad populum, also called a bandwagon fallacy. Okay. There can be some in some of the questions, the options can be bandwagon. It is also called, it is the same as argumentum ad populum or appeal to people. Maybe like what all people believe, we are going to believe that. That's what appeal to people or argumentum ad populum. Appeal to force is argumentum ad baculum. Force, you're forcing someone. Okay, red herring, you have irrelevant thesis. And fallacy of accident. Okay, you have accident or sweeping generalization. Okay, that means a general rule is inherited into a specific case which do not apply. That's what. As per square of opposition, if the statement some birds are apes is given as false, then which of the following statements can be immediately inferred to be true? Immediately inferred to be true. As per square of opposition, if the statement some birds are apes is given as false, maybe like it will be better that if I draw a square of opposition diagram, see, we have a square here. Okay. So then two of the lines from here also, because we have this connection and also this connection what we have. Okay. So then we have different categorical propositions here, A and then E and then I and then O. Okay. So some birds are apes is actually an I type statement. Okay. So this is given to be false. Which one of the following statements can be inferred immediately be true? If I is false, what can be O? If I is false, what can be O? What can be a relationship with O? Obviously, if I is false, E can be true. E must be true, right? So this is a true statement. And here also with O also, the rule for I and O, that is they are sub-contraries. Obviously, if one is, sorry, both cannot be false at the same time. So if one is false, other must be true. So this also will be true. So the two statements which are true will be O and E. You can see one E here. No birds are apes. Can you spot one O? Can you spot O? Yes, we can spot O. What is that? This one. D. All birds are not apes, which goes to the not type statement because it can be converted to some birds are not apes because conversion you should remember all as negation starting with the all. A negation starting with the all. So options with the C and D will work. So that is actually the right answer. That is C and D. That is no birds are apes and all birds are not apes is a statements which can be immediately inferred to be true. That means all birds are not apes can be converted to O type statement. Some birds are not apes. So that is why it is true. Next one. Which of the following statements are so related that they cannot both be true, although they both may be false? Yes, very easy answer. Both cannot be that they cannot both be true, which is the pair we are going to we are telling here. This is a pair that they are telling here. Both cannot be true, but they both may be false. Which is that pair called? It is a contrary pair. Contrary pair. Contrary pairs are A and E. So that is A and B. All trees have roots. No trees have roots. That's it. That is how you can understand. Okay. They are telling about the contrary pairs because they both cannot be true, but they both may be false. See, that is the contrary pairs. Which are the contrary pairs? A and E. So A is all trees have roots. E is no trees have roots. So that is the answer. The premises of a deductive argument are claimed to provide conclusive evidence for the truth of its conclusion. The inductive argument provided less trustworthy support to the conclusion. Yes. Okay. You're telling that both statements are false. Statement 1 is true. Okay. And 2 is false. Some are saying both statements are true. Different answers from the online people and also from the YouTube boys. Yes, different answers. 1, 2 and all. See, it's actually both the statements are true, right? The premises of a deductive argument are claimed to provide conclusive. And I told you, like when I taught you the deductive reasoning, I told you if the premises are true, the conclusion being true is 100%. See, the probability is 100%. But for the inductive reasoning, if the premises are true, the conclusion being true is likely to be true. If the conclusion is likely to be true, not 100%. That is why inductive argument provided less trustworthy support. That means like they are not providing a very good support to the conclusion. Inductive reasoning. Deductive, there is 100%. If the premises are true, the conclusion being true is 100%. But it's not like the same in inductive reasoning. So the both statements are correct. That's what. Next one. Convert to categorical proposition. Yeah. There is a statement with only students can access library. So a word starting or a statement starting with only can be converted to which type of categorical proposition? Yeah, it can be converted to A type categorical proposition. A type categorical proposition. But see, there is a problem in that A type only, but you should interchange the subject and predicate, and it is a specialty for only, I told you. You cannot tell that all students can access the library. No. It is like only students can access the library. It's like all who can access the library are students. That is the correct meaning. It is like, where you have only Indians are students in this college. You cannot tell that all Indians are students in this college. That's a wrong statement. All all students in this college are Indians. Like that only you can tell. Okay. So there is I told you when there is only, there is a specific case for only, you should interchange the subject and predicate and it should be converted to A type categorical proposition. Okay. Next one. All children are not greedy is an example of which proposition. Here it is also a hidden proposition given. You should convert it to the original categorical form and then go with the answer. Is it universal negative? All children are not greedy. Universal negative is actually you have no SRP or no student, maybe like no children are greedy. Here it is a negation with the not. Sorry, a negation with the starting with all. It should be converted to a negation which should be converted to, it should be converted to odd type. It should be converted to odd type. That is particular negative. There is a rule. A sentence starting or a negative sentence starting with the all should be converted to odd type. That is particular negative. That is some children are not greedy. This is a hidden proposition. When you convert, it will be some children are not greedy. Okay, that will be the answer. Next one. In logical terms, the emotional associations of word carries are known as its denotations. We have already discussed this thing, which is that denotation, connotation, implication, and expression. Yes. Great. That is connotation only. That is connotation. Correct. Next one. If the proposition all republics are grateful is taken to be true, which of the following propositions can be false? So you should definitely know that which is the type of categorical proposition said here. It is all republics are grateful, so it is a type of A-type categorical proposition. Yes, so we are discussing this question and then we went to this one. Yeah, of the proposition of all republics are grateful is taken to be true. Which of the following propositions can be false? Okay, so yeah. Yeah, sorry guys, on the YouTube there was a small glitch on that. Sorry for that. Okay, so we'll continue from this slide. Okay, so the answer for this question is 2 and 3. So you guys got the right answer. Some republics are not grateful. That means if A type or A categorical proposition is taken to be true, the types which can be false are E and O. Okay, E and O, because E is actually contrary types, contrary pairs of relations, so they both cannot be true at the same time. And A and O is having a contradictory relationship type, and they, if one is true, other must be false. That's what you have. Okay, so that's it. So D will be the right answer. 2 and 3. 2 and 3 will be the right answer. Okay, so the next question, two propositions are contradictory if they cannot both be true of the pair, exactly one is true and exactly one is false, and they can both be false, they cannot both be false. Yeah. What will be the right answer, guys? Two propositions are contradictory if they cannot both be true. That means contradictory. Yeah, contradictory means C. Maybe like you will think that only B will be the right option. But is A, B, D. That's they cannot both be true because two contradictory means there are both pairs. A and O, E and I is there. So when you have both pairs, exactly one is true and exactly one is false. That is also correct. But they can both be false is wrong. No, it cannot be. They can both be false is wrong. They cannot both be false is also correct because they cannot both be false because one is true, other is false, right? That is contradictory. So all these statements, you should exactly read all those things and then only go with the options. Okay, that is what you have for contradictory statements. Now next one. Which of the following statements are true regarding sub-contrary propositions? Sub-contrary propositions. Sub-contrary propositions. One is true, other must be false. Sub-contrary, you should remember. Which are the pairs of sub-contrary? It is I and O. The pairs of sub-contraries are I and O. The pairs of sub-contraries are I and O. So the statement is like the pairs or the the rule is like both cannot be false at the same time, but both can be true. That's what. So then what is the answer? Yeah. Now you should think like that. Very good. We are getting the correct answers. It's actually B, C, D. That is B, C, D. That's correct. It's they cannot both be false. Correct only. If one is false, other must be true. That's also correct. They can both be true also. That's what. If one is true, other must be false is not there. If one is true, other can either be true or false. That is the correct answer. If one is true, other either can be true or not. It's not a must be false statement. Okay. That is regarding with the sub-contrary pairs. Yeah, that's it. Yes, guys. So that was with the logical reasoning and research aptitude, and I'll meet you tomorrow with the mathematical aptitude and also with DI part. So I think Grace is here to, yes. Grace, I think you can unmute and then.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah. So I'll make you host in 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah. So Grace will deal you with the communications and also communication topic and also people development and development, right?
Yeah.
So Grace will be with you here for the next 1 hour, and then after that we'll have ICT with Manu sir, Grishma, and all is coming. So everybody, please wait. It is still 10 p.m. We have the revision sessions today, marathon revision session. So we started at 6. So that's how we'll go. Yeah. So Grace, I will make you the host. You can continue. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys.
So, hi all. It's very nice to see all of you. I can see a lot of students are here today. First of all, I wish you a happy new year. We are advance happy new year. You're almost winding up this year, right? So I hope your preparations are also going great. The exam is near, I know, but with the time we have left in our hands, let's make and use it wisely. So today, what I'm going to do with you is that, just like Jobin sir did, we are going to analyze certain questions. We'll go through the questions, and I want you to give me the answers for the questions, and we'll see why some are not the answers and why in four option why we got one as the right one and why others are not the right answers. We'll see that. So we are going to the first question. I hope is my audio clear? All good? Are you ready to start your communication classes? Yes, yes. Yeah, let's start then. Okay. So the first question that we are going to see is related to non-verbal communication. So I'll read out the question for you. Kindly, patiently listen to the question. So it is like this: pitch of the teacher's voice in the classroom is described as. Pitch of the teacher's voice in the classroom is described as. We have four options that is given. A, it is linguistics. B, it is paralinguistics or vocalics. C, it is non-linguistics, or D is macrolinguistics. So can I see your answers now? So which is the right option for this question? I can see that many has given me the option B as the right answer. Among them, I also see option A as the right option. But I'll talk to you why which is the right answer. We'll look into the right option then. Okay. So then I'll come to the explanation. So B is the right answer. Many of you got the right one, and so glad about it. Good. Your the initial start is good. So as you can see in this question, it is related to non-verbal communication. Here, the question is related to the teacher's voice or the modulation. So in a classroom setup, a teacher's voice or the modulations in this in voice is actually related to paralinguistic. Some might be not familiar with the term paralinguistic, which we often interchangeably use with the word vocalics. So the right answer for this question is paralinguistic. So what all the things you should remember from this question? So when we analyze each question, there are few things you have to remember. First thing, you're learning new things, so you can write it down if you're not familiar with this one, and understand which area it is connected to. So paralinguistics is connected to non-verbal communication. So communication generally has two divisions, right? There are verbal communication and also there are non-verbal communication. So paralinguistics comes under non-verbal communication, and paralinguistics is related to voice or modulation or the change in the tone and voice that a teacher uses in the class, and through which we are actually communicating to the students, right? So it's not always the verbal medium we use to communicate with people. There are non-verbal mediums we use to communicate with people. So paralinguistic is an example for that. So from this very simple first question in itself, we have learned few things that is related to non-verbal communication. Now, and another question is here. Identify the technical term used to describe body language from the following. Okay, so you have to identify the technical term that is the used to describe body language from the following. Can I see your answers now, please? Yeah. Okay. Right. So I think there is little bit confusion in the question because maybe you're not familiar with that. Yes. Don't worry, we are going to learn together. If it's wrong, don't feel disheartened. This is a time where we are learning things. Okay. So if you couldn't answer it properly, don't take it into your heart. Just take it in a sportsman spirit, saying that, thinking that, okay, I'm going to learn something new today. Okay. So in this four option, the right answer, we'll see the right answer, then I'll come to the explanation of this question. The right option is option C. Option C is the right answer. That is kinesics. So in all these four options, that is in A, B, C, D, it all are related to again to the non-verbal communication. It is related to non-verbal communication, which I already talked to you in the first question. So proxemics. Some have I think answered proxemics as the answer, but proxemics is how you use place in communication. Okay, non-verbal communication, how you use space. Okay, so chronemics is related to time. It is related to time, how you use time in communication, or how you use time to communicate. Okay, use the time differences to communicate. Then kinesics is there. It is related to the body language. So in when you communicate, it's not just you use words, right? There are a lot of movements, your body movements are there, your expressions are, so the kinesis is about that, how your body communicates. Then it is haptic is there, it is about touch. So touch, so these words you should associate. Proxemics associated with place, chronemics associated with time, kinetics associated with body, and haptics associated with touch. Okay, and these four comes under non-verbal communication. And the question here was to identify the technical term that is used to describe body language. So you're coming to the right answer, that is kinesics. And many have got the right answers. So I'm so glad about that. And for those who didn't got the right one, don't worry about it. Okay, we are learning. So I think some have asked me about what is haptics. It is touch. And yeah, I know, ma'am. Don't worry. It's just we are learning, right? If you didn't get the right answer, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, I'm going to move to the next question. Just match the following question. Match the following question. You have list one and list two, and list one are examples, and list two you can see certain type of communication. Types of communication are very important. When you learn the module communication, you have to learn verbal, non-verbal. Along with that, types of communication is also very important. So, in type of communication, we'll first analyze the question, then we'll come to the answer, then we'll discuss the question. So you have four options. In list one, you can see A. Option A says addressing the nation of a national TV network. B says conducting a workshop for a select number of teachers. And C says internal conversation with fellow workers. Then D is there, which says recollection of past events. And in list two, which is a type of communication, you have four. Horizontal is there, intrapersonal communication is there, mass communication is there, and finally group communication is there. So can you match this? And once you go through it, I'll take you to the next slide. I hope you've got an idea about it. If yes, I'm moving to the next slide. So can you figure out the answer from this option that is given for you? Should I change the slide back to the... Yeah, this is the options. Patiently, we have time. Take your time. Think about it. Okay. You can now choose the correct answer from the options. So many, I can see Lena answering C, then Sangeeta saying C, Neha is saying C. Okay, let me see the answer now. Can I go through the answer? Yes, it is C. You got the right answer. So it is answer C. So answers in according to the answer C, option C, you can see that A is 3. addressing the nation over national TV network. It means it's a mass communication. Then we have the next one, conducting a workshop for a select number of teachers. According to the C option, B is four. It is group communication. C again is an internal conversation with fellow workers, and that is undoubtedly it's horizontal communication, and recollection of past events is intrapersonal communication. So when I know that this is very familiar area for most of the people here, and if there is anybody who is having a confusion regarding these types, I'm going to explain it to you. And for those who already know, take it as like a revision. Okay, I'm going to remind you all these things now. So what is horizontal communication? Horizontal, which is also known as lateral communication, it is between people who are in the same rank. So when in an office, when the colleagues talks with each other, it is a horizontal communication because everybody is in the same rank. They are doing the same work, and these when these people communicate, which we call it as horizontal communication. You got it right. Now, what is intra-personal communication? Inter and intra is something, sometimes it's confusing. It's very easy to learn this, but sometimes when you go through the questions, you quickly go through the question, you don't give enough time to analyze it, then there is a high chance that you just confuse with inter and intra, right? Intra means when you talk to yourself, it is intrapersonal. When you're talking to yourself, or a conversation that happens within oneself, that is intrapersonal. Then mass communication is that when you're talking to a large number of people, it is indefinite in number. You don't know how many people are there opposing you or listening to you. You don't know that. So mass communication means in an indefinite number. It is a crowd which you can count. Then group communication is specifically those communication that happens in a circle where you know there will be a definite number of people. So that is the difference. Mass communication, it is an indefinite number. You don't know how many people are there. But in group communication, you can count. Okay, if there is in a classroom setting, if I'm taking classroom as an example, you can count how many students are there. Maybe it is 35, 36. It's countable. You can count it. You can you can add some there is numerical value in it, right? So in mass communication, that doesn't exist. That it is not definite number. It is indefinite number of people. So I hope this is an easy. So in this kinds of question, what you should do, I'll give you a trick now. So what you can do is that come to the one option that is very familiar to you. For example, intra is very common, very familiar to us, and you can easily associate it with D as 2. Now, what you have to do is that sometimes there will be one option that says these two. Look into the option. In option C only says these two. You don't have to invest a lot of time in thing matching all the areas. Sometimes just looking into one answer, you can easily come to the right one, right? So C is the right option. I hope you also got to know about the tricks you are supposed to use in match the following type of questions. Now again, it's a match the following question. I'll again read the list one for you. These are some examples of communication, and there is list two, that is the type of communication. So examples I'm going to read loud for you. Option A says a company boss telephoned his or her secretary for some help from outside. Okay, a company boss telephones his or her secretary for some help from outside. That is option C. Option A. B says a company issues circular of guidelines for its employees. Okay, now C says employees discuss certain issues among themselves. D, a company sends a formal letter to its retailers or wholesalers. Now you have in the types, you have marketing, horizontal, vertical, and informal. Can I just change to the next slide? Okay. Can you give the answers now? Okay. Yes. I'm so glad that you're giving me answers like this. In a blink of an eye, you're giving me the answers. So glad. Yeah. Should I let's see which is the right answer then. It is option A. So many of you got the right answer. Yes, some got some small confusions in between. Don't worry, we are here to learn. Let's see why. So option A says A4, B3, C2, and D1. D1. So in this question, you can easily associate certain things. Right. For example, when you say a company sends a formal letter to retailers and wholesalers, you can easily connect it with marketing. It is related to marketing. When you approach a wholesale business or you're approaching retailers, it means you're doing some sort of marketing. So it's like a same logical thing you can do. It's just if you know the world, you know this, right? So D you can easily associate it with option one. Okay, now employees discuss certain issues among themselves, which we already seen in the previous question. It is horizontal communication. It is horizontal communication. Now, a company issues circular for guidelines for its employees. It is vertical communication. Vertical communication. So here there is a hierarchy to it. It is not between the people of the same rank. Here, the company is issuing certain circular or guideline for the employees. So there is a clear cut division in the ranks that holds. Company means the people who are in the senior position is giving some information to the people who are in the lower position. So there is a difference in the position they are holding. So B you can associate it with option 3. Now, a company boss telephone his or her secretary for some help from outside. It is an informal communication. You not certain words here. It is outside. As help that they're seeking from outside. It is nothing related to work. So they are talking like friends. They are asking some friend. If you're working in a company, you know that sometimes we also maintain a friendship outside the company. So when you ask a help outside the company, it is not formal then. It is an informal. You're asking something personal to this person. So A, you can easily connect it with option 4. Okay. So do you have some doubts here? We will just continue. So the team will help is figuring things out. Some issue is there. So don't worry. We'll continue with the questions. They will help us with that. Okay. So we are going to the next question. Again, it's a match list one with list two. It's a match the following question. List one says mode of communication. List two says type of communication. In mode of communication, you have one to one, one to many to many, one to none. And in the type of communication, you have network, inter, mass communication. Yeah. So can I see the answers now? I'll just change to the next slide. So the option, yes, the right answer is option C. I can see that a lot of people have given me the right answers. It is option C. Yes, true. So we can go through the right answers then. According to option C, it says A is 3. One to one means interpersonal. Do you have any doubt with that? One to one. You're talking to, like one person is talking to another person. It is kind of a dyadic mode. So it is interpersonal. Yes. One to many, according to this option, is one to many means what? It is network. One to many is network. Okay. Sorry, one to many is mass communication. Then, so we were talking about one to many, that is mass communication. Many to many, it means it's network, right? It is not, it contains a lot more people. It is network. And one to none is intro. So this is right order. So we'll move a little bit fast because we have to cover people development and environment also. So can you just guess this answer? A class conducted on Google Meet in which students and teachers are engaged in discussion is an instance of. Can you give me the answers for this one? Yes. So what is the right answer for this question? Yes, it is group communication. Right. It is option B. Now, a leave application from a clerk to the principal of the institution. We'll go through the questions again. So I'm reading the next one. We have very short time in our hands. I have to cover the people development environment part also. So we are moving to the next one. The next question is a leave application from a clerk to the principal of the institution, which is an example of. You have four options with you. Downward is there, upward communication is there, horizontal communication is there, general communication is there. Which is the right one? Okay, which one? Yes, it is. It is upward communication, true. Why upward communication? In along with it, I have to give you a few ideas regarding this. So we have already seen lateral communication, vertical communication in an earlier question. So in vertical communication, there are two types, which is one is upward and the other one is downward. So upward means that a person who is in the lower rank is talking to somebody who is in upper rank. So here the communication is going from, it's like the movement is upward. A person who is in the lower rank is talking to someone who is in the upper rank. So the communication is upward. Now look at the question. A leave application from the clerk to the principal. So the clerk belongs to a lower rank, and the principal in an office structure belongs to an upper rank. Right here the communication is from a clerk to the principal, means the lower rank person to a higher rank person, and it means upward communication. So it is a type of vertical communication. So you can easily understand what is downward communication. Then downward means a person in the higher rank is communicating with a person who belongs to the lower rank. Okay, so if it's unfamiliar to anybody, this is simply this. It is part of, it is two types that comes under vertical communication. One is downward and the next one is upward. And to the question, the right answer is option B, upward communication. Now, next question, the communication between two or more persons. Wait. Two or more persons who are subordinates working under the same person is an example of. The communication between two or more persons who are subordinates working under the same person is an example of. Can you give me the answers? Quick. Yes. Yes. Great. So I'll just show the answers for you. It is option A, which we already said. Lateral is also means horizontal, and it is between people who are in the same rank. The answer is right. Again, I'll match the following question is here. Type of communication and function served. This is a bit confusing one. The previous match with the following questions were very easy, right? For this one I think some might get trouble, but many of you are going to do it like this. And if you're confused, don't worry. You have to practice a lot of previous year questions to attempt various types or various forms of question that comes from the very familiar concepts. So types we have: mass, intrapersonal, group communication, interpersonal. Functions you have: corridor discussion, classroom teaching, for communicates with oneself, for mechanical message transmission. Can you find the right answer for this? I'll move to the next slide. This is the first slide. I'm moving to the second slide. Okay, let me see your answers now. So many of you saying that it is option A. Okay, let me look. Yes, it is option A. So according to option A is 4, B is 3, C 2, and D 1. So in which you can easily come to the answer, because interpersonal means one person is just talking to another person. You just go through the option that is there. You can't say it is classroom teaching. It is, you can't say that you are communicating with yourself, or neither you can say that it is a mechanical message transmission. So one of the easiest way to come to this answer is that you can just use your logic. Interpersonal means a corridor discussion between two people. Now group communication, which you can easily associate with classroom teaching. Intrapersonal, it is that we are communicates with oneself, oneself. Then mass communication, It is a mechanical message transmission. So these are the function that are saved and the type of communication that exists. So the right answer is option A. Moving to the next one, in non-verbal communication, chronemics refers to. We have already discussed the answer, so I hope you will give me the right one here. Yes, yes. Okay. Yes, Linsha. Diksha is giving me the answer. Pooja is there. Hmm. Yeah, many of you are there. I'm seeing all your answers. Yes, it is option A. Chronemics refers to time. Yes. Now, again, it's a statement-oriented question. Statement 1 and statement 2 are there. So, statement 1 says, non-verbal signals are used to emphasize and support the verbal communication. And statement 2 says, non-verbal signals are not a substitute for verbal communication. Can you give me the right answer? You have two statements. You have to individually analyze the statements and you have to come to the answers. Okay. Mm-hmm. Some says it's C, some say it's A. I think some confusions are there. Don't worry, we are going to see the answers. The right answer is option C. Option C says statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Now we'll analyze the statement. The first statement says non-verbal signals are used to emphasize and support the verbal communication. It's true. So in non-verbal, we have learned a lot of things. Kinesics, we see, we understood that body plays an important role, facial expressions plays an important role, place plays an important role, time is important. So nonverbal signals are, yes, it used to emphasize and support the verbal communication, no doubt regarding that. But with the statement 2, some might think that the statement 2 is actually right, but it is not. It's a false statement. Non-verbal signals are not a substitute, it says, but yes, it is a substitute. The statement says non-verbal signals are not a substitute for verbal communication, but the right statement is yes, non-verbal signals are a substitute for verbal communication. Okay, so if you have learned it in another way, we will learn it together now. Don't one if this kind of question comes up in your exam, never forget that you can substitute non-verbal signals with verbal communication. Okay, so we are learning a new thing. So I think that made a little bit confusion among you, if I'm not wrong. Don't worry, we are learning, right? So now next question, transforming ideas, thoughts and messages into verbal and non-verbal signals, signs and symbols is known as. Can we make it quick? Yes. What is the right answer? Yes, it is encoding. It is encoding, no doubt regarding it. Now, the question given below, again, a statement oriented question is here. Organizational communication flow downwards, upward, and horizontally with its network of interdependent relations. Organizational communication is not necessary to achieve the organization's objective. It's very easy. It's very easy. Okay. So I have already shown you the answers, right? Anyway, let's pretend that I didn't change the slides. Yes, the answer is actually very easy. According, it's in assertion reason question. I will give you a trick regarding this. What is the difference between statement oriented questions and assertion reason question? Statement oriented in statement oriented question, you have to individually analyze these statements. You don't have to think about if they share a relationship between each other. It is not your concern. But in assertion reason, first thing you should do is that you have to analyze it best. First thing. Second thing is that you have to think whether it has any connection. So in this question, you and easily you can understand that there is no relation between these two sentences because it is contradictory. So you can analyze it statements individually and you can find that A is true and R is false. The right option is C. Moving to the next question, which of the following are true with regard to mass communication? With regard to mass communication. Why B is strong, ma'am? Okay. Okay, I'll talk to you about it. I have one doubt regarding here. It is they're asking why B is not true. I'll explain it to you. Now look into the question. Listen here. It says that organizational communication is not necessary to achieve organizational objectives. Imagine in a very logical way. Communication is the core thing that builds a structure, that makes the structure exist, that makes things go in a flow. So when you say that it is not necessary, it means that imagine an organization where nobody communicates properly, or imagine a organization where communication is not done in a proper way. It means that you don't going to achieve the goals. So if you are aiming to achieve the goals, it means you have to communicate it properly. There is a beautiful relationship that should be held within the organization. A professional communication should take place. So organization communication is very much important to achieve certain objective that organization holds, or certain values that this organization holds. So, in logical sense, we can come to the conclusion that this statement that is here given as a reason R is false. I hope that the doubt is cleared. If you have more doubts, feel free to contact us. We are there to help you. In person, we can call or text to each other. We'll clarify it for you. Okay. Now, can you come to this one? I'm glad that I could have helped you, dear. Can you come to this question and the answers? Yes. Some says it is C, but let's see the option. Yes, it is C. B, C, D are the right options. What are true with regarding to mass communication is messages are prepared by professionals. It is rapidly disseminated and it is supposed to be understood. Yes, the right answer is option C. Interpersonal communication is most often considered as, I've used this term before, A, dyadic. So, with the left time that we have in our hands, I'm quickly taking you to an important. We can do this question. Then we'll move to the people development and environment area. In mass communication, the audience is. Can you give me the answer? In mass communications, is the audience is right. It is heterogeneous. There are a lot of people. The genders are different. The backgrounds are different. It is heterogeneous. Different people are coming together in mass communication. True. The right answer is option C. So, with the left time that we have in our hands, I'm quickly taking you all to the people development and environment area. If we get a little more time, then of course I'm going to come back to the communication part. And I'm so sorry I couldn't complete the questions, but we will do it later if time permits. I'm taking you to the people development and environment part. I have few things to remind you regarding this module. There are certain areas you have to work hard, you have to learn, you have to do the revision. Protocols are important areas. We're getting regular questions from that part. MDG, Millennium Development Goal, is important. Sustainable Development Goal is important. As we all know that the core idea with MDG and SDG is sustainability. Okay, what is sustainability? Sustainability means that today's development should not affect the future, right? You should not sacrifice the future of the nature, the environment, when you are focusing on the development of today. So it's like you're balancing. When you're developing, when the country develops, you're also protecting the things, the environment, the nature. By doing so, we are protecting the generation, the coming generation. They're also equally they own this land just like us, right? So they have to receive good nature, good environment. Along with development, we are focusing on the idea of sustainability. So these are certain core themes, ideas, or concepts you should keep in mind when you're doing your people development and environment revision. So with the left time that is there with us, we're quickly going through certain questions. Among them, many of the questions may not be familiar to you. Many will be new to you. You might not learned it before. Don't worry. Take a note of it. We are going to study together. Okay, it's not that you are taking the battle alone. We are there for you. So if there is a doubt, take it down, Google it, or you can come to us. We're always there to help you. Okay. So I'm moving to the next question. The first question in this particular session. Are you ready for that? Yeah. I hope you are ready. I hope I'm not. Okay. Anyway, first question. In which of the following steps of hydrological cycle water is purified? In which of the following steps of cycle water is purified? Hydrological cycle water is purified. That's how you should read it. In which of the following steps of hydrological cycle water is purified? I'm so sorry about it. Yeah. Can you give me the answers? Yeah, I think it's very familiar to you. Many have given me the right answer. It is evaporation. Yes, it is evaporation. So, in the hydrological cycle, water is purified through evaporation. Evaporation, we are very familiar with that, right? We are learning it from our old school days. Right. Moving to the next question. The scale which not only measures the intensity of earthquake but also its impact on people is known as the scale which not only measure the intensity of earthquake but also the impacts on its people. Which is the right one? Yes, yes. It is modified method. It is option two. That is the right answer. Yes. Why? What is the difference between Richter scale and modified Macaulay scale? Both are scales that we use to measure earthquakes, right? But in Richter scale, we know that it just focuses on the intensity. It only measures intensity. But in modified Mercalli scale, it is not just focusing on the intensity, but also the impact on people. So that is the difference. In Richter scale, both are scale that is associated with the earthquake. Learn that. Second thing you should understand is that Richter scale, it is not, it only focuses on intensity, whereas in modified Mercalli scale, intensity as well as impact on people are measured. Is that clear? Okay. We are moving to the next question. Okay. Which of the following are true about coliform bacteria? They are used to test water contamination. Coliform bacteria are harmless and cause no disease. They're found naturally in human intestinal tract. Their presence in water is an indication of fecal contamination, which is the right word, right one. Yeah. Some says it's three, some says it's four. Yeah. So the battle is the competition is between option three and four. Um, It is four actually. I have to disappoint people who have chosen three. It is option four means A, B, C, D. Four are true about coliform bacteria. A, B, C, D, both four are. Uh, all four are right regarding coliform bacteria. Actually, they are used to test water contamination. Okay. Secondly, these are harmless and these doesn't cause any disease. And this is you can say it naturally found in human intestine and their presence in water is an indication of fecal contamination. So if this is new to you, there is some for those who didn't get the right one, don't worry. Please note that these four are true regarding coliform bacteria. Okay, can we move to the next question now? International Day for Biological Diversity is observed on. Do you know that? Okay, give me the answers. Okay. It's okay. It's not if it's not familiar for you, don't worry. I'll give you the answers. I'll show the answers now. It is option three. It is May 22nd. If anybody is having their birthday on May 22nd here, I think nobody is having a birthday on May 22nd. Don't worry. So remember that in biological diversity, the International Day for Biological Diversity is 22nd May. Okay? Cool. Yeah. Now moving to the next question. Which of the following is a chemical treatment process in context to water treatment? Yeah, it is coagulation. In coagulation, it's like coagulant is an agent which colored the um, waste materials in the water bodies, and it will gather. It will look like a clot, so you can easily collect it. So coagulation. So remember coagulant as a uh, the thing that we use in that. Yeah. Now, which of the following are sinks of atmospheric carbon dioxide, CO2? Okay. A lot of answers are coming. We'll see. The right option is for option 4. It means A, B, C, D. The sinks of atmospheric carbon. They absorb carbon dioxide. When you say the use the word sinks, it means they absorb it. Yeah. Now, let's move to the next question. Now, can you do this one? This is related to protocols. I'll quickly give some add-ons regarding this International Solar Alliance. India, countries like India, France are there. Convention on Biodiversity is related to biodiversity. Climate change, you might have learned of different action plans that is there. If you're not familiar with it, please learn regarding that. Kyoto Protocol, it's related to greenhouse gases. So now you have to look into the years. It's very important to learn years. Okay. So many people says it's option 2. So let me check the answer. Yes, it is option 2. According to option 2, 2A is 2015. The National Solar Alliance is in the year 2050. Convention on Biodiversity is in the year 1992. National Action Plan on Climate Change is 2008. And Kyoto Protocol is in the year 1997. Yeah. Now, arrange the following environment-related days in chronological order. Can you guess the answers? Yeah, only Noora give me the answers. What about the others? Okay, okay, okay. Let's look into the answer then. The right option is option one. Option one. It means World Health Day. We are arranging it in the chronological order. A comes first. World Health Day comes first. Then Earth Day. Then World Environment Day and World Ozone Day. Okay, this is how the chronological order looks like. Okay, yeah. Some may got, some might not. No, don't worry. We'll learn together. Moving to the next one. This is very important. Sustainable development. I'm reminding you that MDGs and SDGs protocols are very important. Learn it, revise it. Can you give me the answers? Sustainable Development Goals are there. 7, 6, 3, and 5 is there. Then their objectives are there. Can you match these ones? Yeah. I'm quickly going through the answers. Yes, it is option 1. Many have got the right one. SDG 7 means affordable energy. Then SDG 6 means clean water and sanitization. Then SDG 3 means good health and well-being. And SDG 5 means gender equality. Yes. We'll quickly go through then this one. Among these, which is the outmost layer of atmosphere? Which one is that? Which is the right option? Yes, 4. Thermosphere is the right one. Yes. All this we have learned in our school days, right? Okay. Arrange Millennium Development Goals in increasing order according to their goal number. Okay. Which is the right one? Okay. Many of you says it's 2. Yes, it is option 2. Major philosophical approaches to environmental ethics are. As we are almost coming to the last moments, I'll just quickly go through it. Here, anthropocentrism is there, biocentrism is there, ecocentrism is there, egocentrism is not. So A, Z, D are the right options. Okay. So this one we are going to, like, it's a rapid fire session. Which international organization was responsible for monitoring the progress of MDGs? Quick, it is rapid fire. So yes, it is UNDP, correct? Right? Now, which MDG focused on gender equality and women empowerment? It is option B. Okay. Now, which global organization adopted the SDGs? It is C. It is UN, United Nations. Now, what is the main focus on SDG 13? Yeah, it is B. Climate actions. Okay, don't worry. When did Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants was signed? It is rapid fire. You have to give in seconds. Which is the right answer? It is C. C, C, C. Yeah. Now, we'll go to the last question as we don't have, we have only a few minutes left. So, we'll do this question and we'll wind up. Can you answer this question? Oh, I already. Okay. So, can we read this question? Which of the following are, do you got the right one? I already show the answers. Yeah. Anyway, we'll wind up the session. I hope few questions we discussed. A lot of disturbances was there in between. I'm so sorry for what happened. But keep studying. We are there for you. Any doubts in between these questions, if you want these PPTs, we'll share that. You can go through it. And if you feel any doubts regarding any of the questions we have seen today, you can always feel free to contact us. We'll be there to help you and guide you, and we'll clarify the doubts for you. Okay, dears. Thank you so much for the time. I'm really sorry for all those disturbances that happened. We'll see later, and I wish you advance Happy New Year. May God bless you. Thank you. The session will be continued. The next faculty member will be joining us soon. They will start you with the next module. So be here. We will just shift the host now, and you can start learning the new module. Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone. How was the session of Grace ma'am's session? I was listening to actually from the past 10 minutes. I was listening and observing how many of you were answering. You were smartly and eagerly answering all the questions. Okay, so since you were here for past 2 hours, let's have a small 1-minute mental break. Then we will continue our teaching aptitude session. Okay. So take a break, make yourself ready for the questions and the revision related to teaching aptitude. Okay. Okay. Yes, Sadra, Keshavan, everybody, good evening. Naina, are you here? If you're here, could you please send me the YouTube link? So we will be revising characteristics of learners, effective teaching or factors affecting teaching, teaching methods, teaching aids or ICT in teaching, learning theories, Bloom's taxonomy or objectives. Naina, kindly send me through WhatsApp. Learning theories, Bloom's taxonomy or objectives, then memory and forgetting, motivation, transfer of learning, levels of teaching, maxims of teaching, models of teaching, higher levels of teaching like synchronous, asynchronous teaching, MOOC, Swayamprabha, evaluation, etc. will be covered. Okay. So the first question, a teacher plans a classroom strategy for secondary school students that includes group discussion, peer feedback, open-ended problem solving, and emotional support during learning tasks. This strategy is most appropriate because adolescent learners typically prefer individual teacher-directed instruction and strict discipline, show strong peer orientation, demonstrate high self-discipline, learn best through rote memorization. What can be the answer? Yes, very good. The correct answer is option B. Very good. So, adolescents are characterized by strong peer orientation, increased emotional sensitivity, developing abstract thinking. So, all these are suitable when we connect it with adolescent learners. But when we check options like A, prefer individual teacher-directed instructions, mainly prefer individual learning and all completely. That comes for the adult learners, not the adolescent. And other options like C, demonstrate high self-discipline. All those are actually for higher level, or either some other characteristics are related to behaviorist classroom rather than adolescent learner characteristics. Okay. Next question. According to Piaget, language development begins significantly during which stage of cognitive development? Last class also we have revised this. Language development begins significantly during which stage of cognitive development? Yes, very good. So what is the answer? Pre-operational stage. Very good, everyone. So in the sensory motor stage, language, we can say either absent or limited, like cooing, babbling, making sounds and all. So in the pre-operational stage, children rapidly develop symbolic function, which includes language, pretend play, and mental representation. Hence, Piaget associated language development primarily with the pre-operational stage. Okay. Next question. At which stage, according to Piaget, does a child begin to use symbols and language? At which stage, according to Piaget, does a child begin to use symbols and language? The question, which is similar to the one that we have just answered. Yes, very good. So the same question asked differently. Okay. So which are the different stages? Sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational stage. We know that. And sensory motor stage, what happens? Object permanence is a primary characteristics. Trial and error, they learn through trial and error. Reflex actions occurs. Then no symbolic thought. Language is absent or minimal, like babbling, sound making, cooing, etc. Pre-operational stage, symbolic function, language development. Then egocentrism, animism, pretend or make-believe play, intuitive thinking, language and symbols develop rapidly during this stage. Concrete operational stage, conservation. We know what conservation is. Think about the juice example. Okay. Then reversibility, seriation, classification, logical thinking, and concrete object. Language is used logically, but abstract thinking is limited. Then formal operational stage. So here you need to keep one more point in your mind. When we speak about concrete operational stage, we said about concrete logical thinking. But that logical thinking is limited to concrete object. Okay, a logical thinking. For that logical thinking, we need concrete example and concrete object, not higher level reasoning wise logical thinking. We are not speaking about that here. Okay, so formal operational stage, abstract thinking, hypothetical deductive reasoning, systematic problem solving, metacognition. Okay, advanced language for abstract and hypothetical ideas. Okay. Next, which of the following statement best describes children in the concrete operational stage of Piaget's cognitive development theory? They can reason hypothetically and abstractly. They rely mainly on the trial and error learning. They can perform logical operations on concrete object. They are dominated by egocentric thinking. Yes, very good. Option C. They can perform logical operations on concrete objects. Just now we discussed, right? They can perform logical operations on concrete object. Egocentrism, it actually, it's a feature or a characteristic related to pre-operational. By the time of concrete operational, they slowly start to think from the other person's point of view. Okay. Answer C, they can perform logical operations on concrete object. Okay. Okay, now match sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, formal operational with the characteristics. Now it might be easy for you because we have already discussed the characteristics now. So faster, sensory motor, object permanence, pre-operational. Yes, symbolic function and language, concrete operational. Logical thinking limited to concrete object, formal operational, abstract and hypothetical reasoning. So what is the answer option? 1 is the answer. Yes, very good. So which of the following statements are correct in the context of effective teaching? Which of the following statements are correct in the context of effective teaching? First, try to read by yourself. Those who have trouble reading, I will help you. Let others just try to do it by themselves. Okay, so option A, effective teaching requires strong command over subject content. Learner motivation plays a crucial role in meaning learning. Rigid teacher dominance ensures better classroom control and learning. Use of appropriate teaching aids enhances understanding and retention. Effective teaching discourages learning participation to maintain discipline. So, what is the answer? Yes, Jyotsna, very good. A, B, and D. Option 1 is the answer. And why option 1 is the answer? Rigid, discourages, dominance. They usually indicate what? Effective teaching or non-effective teaching? They indicate that the teaching is ineffective. Okay, yes. So, option 1 is the answer. Yes, dear. So if any technical issue is there related to YouTube live, kindly contact the office, okay? Bhavya ma'am. Because if I try to contact, no, the problem is that it will affect our class. Okay, next. A teacher asks students to identify a real life problem in their community, collect data, plan possible solution, implement one solution, and present their findings. So this teaching approach is more suitable for developing broad memorization of fact, problem solving and critical thinking skill, mechanical practice of concept, passive listening and note-taking skills. Yes, very good. Option B, problem solving and critical thinking skills. Very good. Next, which of the following statements about the classification of teaching methods are incorrect? We know about the different teaching methods and their classification. Okay, so based on those classification, which of the teaching methods or the classification statements are incorrect? Which of the following statements about the classification of teaching methods are incorrect? Option A, lecture and demonstration methods are teacher-centered methods. Option B, project and inquiry methods are learner-centered methods. Discussion method is classified under teacher-centered method. Programmed instruction and computer-assisted instruction are technology-based method. Drill and practice method promotes active learner autonomy and creativity. So which are incorrect? Yes, very good. Which are incorrect? Option C and E are incorrect. Why? Why they are incorrect? Because C, discussion method is learner-centered, not teacher-centered. Then E, drill and practice emphasizes repetition and habit formation, not creativity or autonomy. Learner autonomy is not there when we speak about drill and practice. It needs teachers monitoring, teacher support. Okay. Which of the following statements are correct regarding programmed instruction? We learned about programmed instruction. So related to programmed instruction method, which of the following statements are correct? It is based on principles of behaviorism. Learning content is presented in small sequential steps called frames. Learners receive immediate feedback on their responses. It discourages self-paced learning to maintain uniformity among learners. It promotes active learning, learner participation. Regarding the PPTs, whether you will get today itself, I'm not sure about that because the class will be up to 10 and it won't be fair to tell them to work now after 10. So I don't think that will be possible. But by tomorrow you will get. Okay. Okay. So what was the answer? Yes, later you will get. Tomorrow you will get. So meanwhile, answer the question. So what was the answer that you have given? Which of the following statements are correct regarding programmed instruction? Yes. Key, according to Sylvia, it's option 1. Others, Viva, Alina. Okay. So let's check. Have you all joined? Okay. Option 1, A, B, C, and E. Okay. So which one we skipped and why? It discourages self-paced learning to maintain uniformity among learners. Okay, so the terms discourages when they are asking you a question about the characteristics or programmed instruction. Okay, programmed instruction doesn't discourage self-paced learning. Okay, doesn't discourage self-paced learning to maintain uniformity. Actually, programmed instruction is for what? Self-paced learning purpose. Okay, so that each individual can thrive and learn according to their own pace, their own speed, their own need, according to their own what to say, as per their convenience they can progress. Okay, so it doesn't discourage self-paced learning here, so that option is wrong. It's very good for those. So when we speak about programmed instruction, who is behind the idea of programmed instruction? Who is behind the idea of programmed instruction? Programmed instruction was developed from the theory of Skinner. Yes, very good. He has developed a teaching machine and which later developed into an idea of programmed instruction. So it is based on the which philosophy or which theory? Behaviorist theory. Okay, and they actually put or give importance to giving small ideas, giving importance to teaching learners small ideas. Okay, so small steps, small frames, small ideas at once. So immediate feedback, active responding, self-paced learning, all these are characteristics of programmed instruction. Okay. Next, in a postgraduate classroom, a teacher introduces a topic by posing a central question. Encourages. Have we discussed this question? Encourages students to express different viewpoints, asks them to respond to one another's arguments, and finally helps the class synthesize the ideas discussed. So which teaching method is most appropriately reflected in this situation? Yes, very good. It is none other than discussion method, central question. So encourage student to express, encourage each and every students, okay, to express different viewpoints. So everyone is getting chances. Respond to one another's argument. So it is discussion that is happening, not lecture, not demonstration, not programmed instruction. Okay, very good, everyone. So next, which of the following statements correctly describe the educational value of audiovisual teaching aids? Which of the following statement correctly describe the educational value of audiovisual teaching aids? They help in concretizing learning experiences. They reduce reliance on verbal explanation alone. They always eliminate the need for teacher guidance. They facilitate better attention and interest among learners. They improve long-term retention of learning. Correctly described. Yes, okay. So let's check the answer now. Option 1, A, B, D, and E. So what is C? They always eliminate the need for teacher guidance. Eliminating teacher guidance is not the role why we are using audiovisual aids. Audiovisual aids, of course, reduce verbalism in the classroom, because when we are using a teaching aid, whether it's audiovisual or something else, when we are using teaching aids, it actually reduces verbalism of the teacher, because with the help of the aids, the teacher can better explain the concept. Okay, so here facilitating or eliminating the need for the teacher's guidance, that is the wrong answer. Option 1 is correct. Okay, next. Which of the following statements are correct regarding the concept of scaffolding in teaching and learning? Scaffolding. Scaffolding in teaching and learning. Answer fast. We have so many questions. We need to cover all that. So it will be easy for you when you're doing your final revision. Yes, very good, Benita, Linsha, and everyone. Those who have answered option 1, what is the answer? A, B, C, and E. Scaffolding. The option D, scaffolding aims to make teachers permanently dependent, learners permanently dependent on teacher guidance. That is wrong. Other than that, every other point is actually correct. The idea of scaffolding is conceptually influenced by Vygotski's ZPD. The conceptual idea we got from ZPD. Whose ZPD? Vygotski's ZPD. So it later came to be known as even. It was called as Vygotsky's scaffolding. Okay, so when we speak about Vygotsky's scaffolding, it also means that someone else also mentioned about scaffolding. So the term scaffolding was coined. The idea we got from Vygotsky, from his ZPD, but the term scaffolding as a term was coined by Bruner. Okay, along with Wood and Rose. Scaffolding involves providing temporary instructional support that is gradually withdrawn. Okay, then scaffolding promotes learner independence by supporting task performance beyond the learner's current ability. Okay, so option 1 is the correct answer. Very good. So, Vygotsky, conceptual foundation. Bruner coined the term scaffolding. Okay. Next questions. Which of the following are advantages of audiovisual teaching? Last class also we have discussed this. So it will be easy for you to answer fast. Yes, okay. Option A, C, and D. That means increase learner motivation, improve retention, and clarify abstract concept. Next question. According to Vygotsky, learning is most effective in the which zone? Faster. We can omit C and D because it is not part of Vygotsky's theory. From A and B, which will be the answer? Zone of proximal development. Learning is most effective when the learner gets someone's scaffolding support from the more knowledgeable other, MKO. Okay. Yes, very good. Next, which domain of Bloom's taxonomy deals with values, attitudes, and emotions? Cognitive, affective, psychomotor, cognitive. Values, attitude, and emotions. Yes, very good. Option B, affective. Yes. According to Ebbinghaus, forgetting is most rapid when? After 1 week, after 1 month, immediately after learning at a uniform rate. According to Ebbinghaus, forgetting is most rapid. When forgetting is most rapid? Yes, immediately after learning. Option C is the answer. Yes, very good, everyone. Okay, next question. Difficulty in assessing a memory because of competing information is called. Some information is doing something so that it is causing difficulty or it is becoming an obstacle in memorizing something. So that is particular information is becoming a interference. Option B. And different types of interference, proactive and retroactive. Then which of the following best promotes intrinsic motivation? Yes, very good for those. Benita, Roy, Amy. Yes. What is the answer? Meaningful learning task option C. Yes, very good. Next question. Memory for general facts, concepts, and rules is called general fact, concept, rule. Is it episodic memory? Is it procedural memory? Is it semantic memory? Is it iconic memory? Very good, Rajneesh. Anakha, Fido, Sylvia, Roy, Cholsna. Yes, very good. So option C, semantic memory. So which is a memory that is related to a image that you have seen and that only will be there in your mind for a fraction of a second. Yes, very good. Iconic, very good. Then which is a memory that is related to skill, a particular skill, how you have to do that, step-by-step memory. Very good. Procedural memory. So you have seen a dream and you are thinking about that in that exact order. Episode by episode. Yes, very good. Episodic memory. Very good, Amy, and everyone who have answered, very good. So next, memory related to skills like cycling or typing is called? Already we have said this. Which is the answer? Skill-based memory. Option B. Yes, Leelavati. Procedural memory. Very good.
Ma'am,
Who? Yes.
ma'am, can you please explain semantic for a while?
Semantic memory is a kind of memory which is related to factual information. Okay. If it is related to any particular general knowledge, fact, concept, meaning, rule, those kind of memory is semantic. Not connected to a personal experience, not connected to any particular skill, not connected to any image or something, but whatever that we learn, general basic concept, meanings, rules, etc. Okay. Shall we move? Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. For example, remembering grammar rules, Delhi is the capital of India, such information is semantic. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, which of the following are key features of cooperative learning? Cooperative learning, collaborative learning, blended learning, flipped classroom, inclusive, differentiated. All these terms are important. Okay. Self-directed learning, direct instruction. They have asked these terms a number of times. Okay. Yes, what is the answer here? Which of the following are key features of cooperative learning? Positive interdependence, individual accountability, face-to-face interaction. Competitive or competitive evaluation is not a part of cooperative learning. Yes, very good. ABD. So, positive interdependence, we know that we are making them to do this cooperative learning strategies, or we are applying that, or classifying the group into class into different groups and making them to do cooperative learning strategies, because we want every learners to interact. We want every learners to take part, participate, and if there is any social issues that is going on in the classroom, they are not talking to each other, such issues also can be covered with the help of this kind of interactive method. So learners succeed together, not individually. So they have to depend upon each other. Kind of positive interdependence is needed. Okay, individual take accountability of their, each individual have their own role. So they need to take accountability if the group is failing. Okay, so each learner is responsible for their part, what they are doing, their role and all. Then face-to-face interaction, learners discuss, explain and support each other. Okay. So next, cooperative learning differs from collaborative learning because cooperative learning is teacher structure, completely learner controlled, individualistic, passive. Cooperative learning is learning differs from collaborative. So what characteristics of cooperative learning is making it different from that of collaborative? Yes, very good. When we speak about two group-based method, cooperative and collaborative, cooperative is structured by the teacher. Collaborative has more learner liberty from the part of the learner. Okay, learner can decide the roles and all. They can interact with each other, and they can decide who will be doing what all roles in that particular group activity. But when we speak about cooperative learning, it is structured by the teacher. Teacher decides the role. When we compare it with collaborative, it is more teacher, even though the activity is what to say, learner centered, it is structured by the teacher, monitored and structured, and everything decided by the teacher when we compare it with collaborative. Okay. So cooperative learning has clearly defined roles, tasks, and assessment. Collaborative learning is more open-ended and learner-driven. Next question. Learning is most effective when learners actively construct knowledge. This view is supported by active construction of knowledge. It happens in behaviorism, connectionism, classical conditioning. All these are connected to the main theory of behaviorism. So, which is the answer? Learner is constructing the knowledge, and we are focusing on that, how they are constructing, what are the processes involved. Metacognition, all this comes in constructivism. Okay. Option B. Yes, very good. Feedback given during instruction to improve learning is called feedback given during instruction to improve learning is called summative feedback, norm reference feedback, formative feedback, ipsative feedback. Yes, during the instruction, while the teaching and learning is happening, to improve learning, all these are clues which is leading us towards the answer formative, evaluation of formative feedback. Okay. So ipsative, comparison of the same person. If we are making them to do an examination, we are comparing their mark now, how much they have got, and previously how much they have got. We are making a comparison of the same person's mark. Okay, so or the person is doing that by herself, or the teacher is doing that. Ipsative. Okay. Next question. Which of the following ICT tools are primarily used for collaborative learning? Collaboration. We have discussed this in the last class. That's why I have included same questions. Some of the questions are same. Okay, mixed answers. Why mixed answer? Collaborative learning, primarily used for collaborative learning. Collaboration, collaborative learning. What is Padlet? Think about Padlet. Is collaboration possible? Primarily, what is the purpose of Padlet? Yes, here the odd one out is Kahoot. Kahoot is a evaluation. We are using Kahoot for game-based evaluation, not for collaborative learning. Okay, so primary purpose of the apps as collaborative learning platform, Google Doc, Padlet, Jamboard. Okay. Padlet is a digital board, like our notice board and a display kind of board, which is a virtual display board where you can display your creativity, your idea, and your friends and teachers will give their feedback. So collaboration is happening. You can do collaborative works and projects in with the help of Padlet so that others can see, give their feedback. Same thing happens when it is a writing-based activity. We can use collaborative writing task activity for Google Doc. Okay. Then Jamboard, a collaborative digital whiteboard. There also collaboration can happen. But Kahoot primarily an assessment or quiz tool, not for collaboration. Okay. Which of the following is an example of a learning management system? LMS. Learning Management System, LMS. Moodle, Blackboard, Google Classroom, Schoology, all of the above. Learning Management System, where it will be helping us to conduct a course, deliver materials, help us to monitor the assignment, parent-teacher interaction. Yes, very good. All of the above. Next question. Which of the following tools are most suitable for formative assessment? Which of the following tools are most suitable for formative assessment? Formative assessment. Yes, very good. Option 1, A, B, and C. So you have to keep in mind about the characteristics of LMS. Deliver content, manage courses, track learner progress, conduct assignments, interacting with parents and teachers. Okay, whatever that management aspects that happens in a normal classroom, for that purpose, we are using a LMS, e-version. Okay. Which of the following are cloud-based tools? So think when you speak about cloud-based tool, it is helping you to save information not on your device but somewhere else. Yes, very good. Option D, all of the above. Google Drive, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive. Okay, so what cloud tools allow? Online storage, anywhere access, collaboration without local installation. Okay. Next, which of the following is an example of synchronous online teaching? Synchronous and asynchronous. Yes, very good. Option C, Zoom live class. So, synchronous real-time interaction, Zoom, Google Meet, etc. Asynchronous, delayed interaction, email, forums, recording, where you will getting the reply or the communication will be delayed. Two-way communication will be delayed. When learning is in one situation, helps learning in another, it is called When learning in one situation, learning occurred in one situation, and that is helping a kind of learning that happened in another situation. What kind of transfer is happening? Negative transfer, zero transfer, positive transfer, retroactive transfer. Yes. Positive transfer. Very good. So now let's, those who haven't or wasn't present in the last session, just go through, let's just go through this. Negative transfer. Previous learning hinders new learning. Learning British spelling confusing, American spelling. So keep in your mind examples. Okay, that is the best way to identify these kind of questions. Then zero transfer. Learning music does not help learning chemistry. Some those are not connected to each other. Hence, they are not complementing each other. They are not connected. They are not complementing. Okay, so no transfer occurs. Positive transfer. Learning multiplication table helps division. So earlier you learned something which is helping a new learning. Then retroactive transfer. New learning affects old learning. When your new learning is affecting what you have already learned in the past. Relate to forgetting, because the new things are making you to forget what you learned earlier. So that is retroactive transfer. Okay. Now, transfer of learning from classroom to real life situation is called near transfer, far transfer, vertical transfer, lateral transfer. Transfer of learning from classroom to real life situation. Very good, Ashwaghosh. Palapi, Aini. So what is the answer here? Far transfer. So what are the other transfers? What do you mean by near transfer? Learning applied in similar situation. Max problem in textbook and you are applying that immediately for doing an examination. Okay. Far transfer, learning applied in a different or real life context using economic concept in daily budgeting and all. Okay, so that is far transfer. After learning and getting all the idea clear and all, after a long time, you are doing that. Okay, applying that in the real life. Vertical transfer, learning moving from simple to complex level. If your learning is moving from simple idea to complex idea, that is what kind of transfer is happening there, because you need the basic idea to move to the upper level idea. Okay, so vertical transfer. Lateral transfer, transfer from subjects at the same level. So that is lateral transfer. Now, the highest level of teaching that promotes critical thinking is highest level of teaching. Very good, Niranjana. Vibha, what is the answer? Option C, reflective level. Very good. So we have three different levels. Memory level, focus on rote learning. Memorizing definition is example. Understanding level, focus on comprehension and explanation. Explaining a concept in on words is the example. Reflective level, focus on problem solving, reasoning and critical thinking. Analyzing classroom problems and proposing solutions is example. Okay, memory, understanding, reflective. Next question. After completing a unit, a teacher asks students to review their own answers, identify why certain responses were weak or strong, compare their reasoning with model answers, suggest how they would improve their thinking in future tasks. The teacher focuses on self-evaluation and improvement of reasoning rather than marks or memorization. So this classroom practice represents which level of teaching? Actually, it's a simple question. After completing a unit. Self-evaluation, improvement of reasoning. Reflective level. Yes, very good, Lakshmi. Okay, so which of the following statements are correct with reference to models of teaching? methods, strategies, models, we can expect questions related to these terms. Okay, so which of the following statements are correct with reference to models of teaching? So, model of teaching provides a systematic and theoretical framework for organizing teaching learning process. The syntax of a model of teaching refers to the sequence of phases or steps followed during instruction. The social system of a model describes the nature of interaction between teacher and learner. Models of teaching and methods of teaching are identical concepts and can be used interchangeably. A model of teaching specifies the principles of reaction, indicating how a teacher should respond to learner behavior. What can be the answer here? Yes. What is not the answer here? Models of teaching and methods of teaching are not identical concepts. They are different concepts and they can't be used interchangeably because they are different. Okay. Manu sir, I will be taking class up to 9-10 because I only got by 8-10.
No problem. I was just checking my internet and lighting.
Yes, okay. So what is the answer? A, B, C, and E. D is not the answer. Okay. Models are theory based and comprehensive, and it is a model. So we have to follow exactly how it is given, theoretical based, and we have to follow how it is given. We are not, or the teachers can't make modification because it is an idea, a theory which is already proposed by someone. We need to follow whatever the steps or components involved in that. We have to follow that pakka in that manner. Okay. But methods are, as teachers, we can make modification. Those are steps that we are going to apply in the classroom. Okay. Directly whatever we are going to do, methods that we can make changes according to the need of our learners. Okay. You can go through this model and method. Comparison is given later. Okay. Teaching from known to unknown reflects which principle? Teaching from known to unknown reflect which principle? Maxims of teaching. Very good. So can you just type some of the maxims that you remember? Maxims are like guidelines that the teachers need to follow. Yes. Known to unknown, whole to part, simple to complex. Yes, very good. Very good, everyone. A curriculum based on learner interest and activities is called? A curriculum based on learner interest and activities is called? Yes, very good. We have discussed this question last class. Activity-centered curriculum, option C is the answer. Yes. Next, a teacher notices that a group of students is unable to concentrate in class because they feel unsafe due to bullying and lack emotional security. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which need should be addressed first to improve learning? Among the given option, whatever that is given in the option, from that you have to determine, and that should be in connection with the situation given. Yes, safety needs. Very good. So, Maslow proposed that lower order needs must be satisfied before going to higher order needs, but he later clarified that 100% satisfaction he is not intending that, but some sort it need to be satisfied up to some level. Okay. Then safety need include protection from fear, insecurity, and emotional threat. Without safety, learners cannot focus on higher learning. So esteem, self-actualization, all those are higher level. Before reaching that, the learner need to feel safe and secure inside the classroom to proceed. Okay. Rats in a maze experiment learned the layout of the maze without reinforcement and later use this knowledge when rewards are introduced. This phenomena is best explained by Tolman's concept of dash. No. Tolman's concept. When you see a term reinforcement, don't think about operant conditioning. I'm removing operant. I'm helping you. We can remove operant conditioning. Then think. Rat in a maze experiment learned the layout of the maze without reinforcement and later use this knowledge when rewards are introduced. So some way or other, it learned to operate the maze. But we are not, or the person who have developed the maze hasn't figured out that the rat learned that. Later, he introduced a reward at the other side of the maze. He kept a food for the rat, and he has seen that the within much time, the rat was able to pass the maze and reach the other side. So the rat had some kind of cognitive map inside it, and it was based on that cognitive map it was able to solve the maze. It was not based on the reinforcement principle, and they have clearly given without reinforcement already it has done something. It has a latent learning already occurred, but we are not seeing that, or we didn't understood such kind of learning happen. In future, when an examination or a particular situation occur, then the teacher or the experimenter identify that already this person knew this particular concept. Already somehow they have generated the idea in their mind with the help of the cognitive mapping skill. Okay. Cognitive map is the answer when it comes to Tolman's concept. Operant conditioning, trial and error, those are related to other people. Trial and error, we haven't mentioned any trial or error situation here. Somehow it identified it, and the experimenter was able to know it already learned this when it introduced the reward. It already learned, it already had the conceptual map. Based on that, it performed. Okay, so that is concept cognitive map, and that is based on latent learning concept related to Tolman. Okay. So which of the following statements are correct regarding Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory? Which of the following are correct regarding Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory? In the name itself, multiple intelligence is given. Okay, intelligence is a single fixed ability measurable only through IQ test. Linguistic and logical mathematical intelligence are the only valid forms of intelligence. Individuals possess different combinations of intelligence. Musical and bodily kinesthetic intelligence are recognized in this theory. Teaching should address diverse intelligences for effective learning. What can be the answer? Multiple intelligence theory. Yes, very good. Option 1. C, D, and E are the answer. Individuals possess different combination. Musical and bodily and kinesthetic intelligence are recognized in this theory. That means multiple intelligence. Teaching should address diverse intelligence. So same thing, they have been repeatedly mentioned in different statements. Okay. If the question rejects IQ only intelligence and it focuses on multiple type of intelligence, then that they are pointing towards the concept of Gardner's multiple intelligence. Okay. Next, a student follows school rules strictly because breaking them would lead to punishment, not because of ethical reasoning. According to Kohlberg's theory of moral development, this behavior reflects which stage? We learned about Kohlberg's theory of moral development in connection to Piaget's theory. Yes, very good. Obedience and punishment, orientation. Option C is the answer. Very good, everyone. Which teaching model focus on concept formation? Which teaching model focus on concept formation? Yes, concept attainment model. Last class we have discussed this. Yes, very good. So, advanced organizer gives prior frameworks in the form of images and concept maps and all. They give prior images or idea what we are going to learn. So based on that, the learner can learn in a better way. They know, okay, these are the things or the important points that they need to keep in mind related to a new area that they are going to learn. A concept map is being framed in their mind with the help of diagrams, pictures, etc. Okay, then concept attainment. Learners identify attributes through examples or non-examples. Inquiry, focus on scientific inquiry through questions and all. Okay, jurisprudential, focus on social issues and debates. Okay. According to Skinner, learning is strengthened through. This will be easy for you. Now, the term relate to Skinner. Yes, very good. Reinforcement. Option B is the answer. Very good. Next, which acts as a barrier to effective teaching? Barrier to effective teaching. Barrier. Something negative. So what is negative here? Subject mastery is not negative, teaching aid is not negative, learner motivation is negative. So poor classroom interaction. Yes, very good. Learner characteristics belong to which stage? Input, process, output, feedback. Last class we explained this concept. Think this concept in relation to the stages of teaching. Phases of teaching. Yes, very good. Input. So when we speak about the input, here includes during the input stage, we decide and think about whom, learners, objective, content, resources. So which phase of teaching is we are mentioning here? Pre-active phase, reactive phase, interactive phase, and a post-active. Okay, then process, teaching strategies, output, learning outcomes, feedback, evaluation oriented. Okay. Similar question. Before beginning a new course, a teacher analyzes the student's prior knowledge, learning styles, motivation levels, language proficiency, and socio-cultural background in order to design suitable instructional strategies. According to the input, process, output, feedback model of teaching learning, this activity of the teacher belongs to which stage? Now answer. Once again, before beginning a new course, a teacher analyzes a student's prior knowledge, learning styles, motivation level. Before beginning, input. During the input stage, what all things happen? The teacher includes what kind of learner he or she is dealing with, objectives, content, resources, all this comes in the input stage. Okay. Extra explanation is given so that those who have doubt, those who are having doubt, you can go through each of the stages: input, process, output, feedback. Okay. Okay. Which objective focused on using knowledge in new situation? Knowledge in new situation according to Bloom's taxonomy. The question is related to Bloom's taxonomy. Knowledge in new situation. Using knowledge in new situation. New. Don't concentrate only on the term knowledge. Using knowledge on new situation. Application. Yes. Now we learned about Swayamprabha channels. These are the new names. We know that for higher education, we have 40 channels. Okay. So for language and culture, Sanskar, education and management, Sanvaha, economics and commerce, Kautilya, physical science and math, Aryapat, life science, Spandan, applied science, Daksh. Then humanities and social science, Vyas is there. Atmagan for law and behavioral science, which is the channel number 8. Okay. Then from 10 to 16 channels, the content is being managed by IGNOU. Then what all we have learned about Swayamprabha project under PM eVidya, telecasted by GSAT 15, channels uplinked by BSAT Gandhinagar, Web portal maintained by InflipNet. Contributors IIT, IISC, UGC, CEC, now NPTEL. Okay. Now let's answer some question. Okay. Swayamprabha channel Kaudilya primarily focus on. Swayamprabha channel Kaudilya primarily focuses on. Yes, very good. Option B. Very good. Economics, commerce, and management. Next, which Swayamprabha channel is dedicated mainly to physical science and mathematics? Physical science and mathematics. Yes, very good. Option C, Aryabhat. Swayamprabha channel number 8 primarily deals with channel number 8. Yes, very good, Shreya. What is the answer? Option D. Yes, Ashwa Ghosh. Law and legal science. Option legal studies. Option D. Content for Swayamprabha channel number 14 is mainly contributed by channel number 14. 10 to 16. Think about 10 to 16. IGNOU. UGC and CEC. IGNOU and UGC CEC. Okay. Then, which of the following factors influence the effectiveness of support material? Effectiveness of support material. Which of the following factors influence the effectiveness of support material? A, C, and D. Option 2 is the answer. A group of DTH channels devoted to telecasting education programs on a 24/7 basis is. Some of you made mistake last time, so that's why I added it again. What is the answer? Simple question, easy question. Yes, Swayamprabha. Very good. Which teaching method is most suitable for developing problem-solving ability among learners? Yes, very good. Project method. Which of the following are examples of achievement test? These two will be the last question. Then we will wind up. Okay, which of the following are examples of achievement test? Binet-Simon intelligence test, Raven's progressive matrices, Metropolitan achievement test, Otis Lennon school ability test. Last class we discussed this and I told you how to identify. Yes. Option 1, A and B. The other are intelligence test. C and D are intelligence test. Okay. For constructing a test, the length of the test will vary depending upon dash. Last question. The length of the test will vary depending upon dash. Yes, option 3, A, B, D, and E. Purpose of the test, kind of items used, age and ability of the pupils, then instructional time allotted. Okay. Okay, so there are a few more questions. When you get the material, kindly go through it. Okay, as a last minute preparation, for your last minute preparation, go through this. Okay. DG Locker, CBT, different types of evaluation based questions have been added. Go through this. Okay, thank you so much. And thank you. A special thanks to Manasa for patiently waiting. Okay, thank you everyone. Take care. We will see you tomorrow.
Okay, so far you have discussed teaching and research aptitude, mathematical reasoning, data interpretation, communication, environment, I believe. Okay, oh no, okay, I have seen your sessions on communication right from the beginning. Okay, maybe. So after all these sessions that we are restarting again with, as you all know, I'm here to teach you which unit that you all can guess. I hope the chat is enabled for everyone. Yes, now every one of you can just drop your responses in the chat box. So I'm here with you are one of your favorite portions again for today. It's like 9:20. Yes, we are here to discuss the Unit 8 ICT, as you can see in the title slide here itself. Okay, so yeah, 134 students. Yeah, I hope that is all because more people are joining right here. Okay, so refreshing the things that we have learned in ICT specifications. What were the modules, if you remember? I hope the YouTube students aren't here. So you're all my students in the regular batch. What were the modules that we have been discussing in ICT? Where did we start? Which were the initial modules? I'm just giving the introduction because until that time, others can also join. Okay, yeah, just revisiting the things. I hope you're all there in my revision classes, PYQ revision classes. Yes, generations of computers, types of computers, different classification of types of computers based on size and operation, uh, then hardware components including the input output units, memory units, control like arithmetic logic, like central processing unit and everything. Then of course software components, system software, application software, like driver software, a lot of other kind of software systems. More moving on to networking systems, definitely networking, network topologies, network protocols. Then the world of internet, intranet, extranet, email, use of ICT in higher education, governance, all these things that we have been discussing. Yes, number systems, very good, Vibham. Yeah, I said that as well. Okay, so to all these 142 students, I hope you all remember all these things that we have discussed so far. Okay, so without further delay, I think it's time for us to start. Okay, just because you have told all these things together, I'm not here to elaborate all these things again, but directly moving on to a question for you here. Okay, are you all ready for the first question? 144, decent number. Yes, here comes your first question. This question was asked in September 2020, as you can see in the uh, top of the slide. So information and communication technology comprises of what all things? Online learning, learning through mobile application, web-based learning, all of the above. I think every one of you can answer this because I am beginning with only simple questions because you have been saturated with a lot of things already. So you don't have to message me privately. Okay, this is not like just because it's a marathon, we are not in a running race. Just sharing our knowledge together. Okay, don't have to be worried whether the answers will be wrong or not. Just be cool and just respond. Just respond confidently. What is the answer? So information and communication technology comprises of online learning, learning through mobile application, web-based learning, all of the above. So this is a very simple question. Every one of you can answer, starting with simple things. Yes, which is the correct option? Every one of you telling option D or option 3 as the answer. Some of you said option 4. Anyway, online learning, of course, ICT comprises of online learning. Learning through mobile application is also latest addition in the field of ICT. Web-based learning, Swayam, Swayam platform offering web-based courses. Yes. So definitely all of the above is the answer. Okay, so I hope that is a option. Yes. Very good, very good. So all of the above is the answer. Okay, so in dealing with such kind of questions, what happens oftentimes is like you have the tendency to choose answer from this particular pack. Okay, this is not the pack from where you have to select the answer. This is the set of choices from you where you have to make the choice. Okay, so don't make that kind of mistake. This is where you are letting you practice a lot of things because at this exam time you will be in a panic. So you will be in a panic, and that might lead you to make such kind of crazy choices. Okay, Don't do that. Keep calm and make your answer. Okay. So I hope that is okay for every one of you. Yes. Now we are moving on to the next question. Not a PYQ, just a practice question. Two statements given. Choose the correct option. A hybrid computer has features both of analog and digital computers. And a hybrid computers are found in large research institutes only, which is the answer. So both statement 1 and statement 2 are true. Statement 1, true, S2 false, S1 false, S2 true, both false. Which is the answer? Okay, majority of you telling option 2 being the answer. Let me check. Yes, because hybrid computers are found in large research institutes. No, not in large research institutes only. Where are they found actually? I have given you the explanation where they are found. Hybrid computers are found in, how many of you remember hybrid computers are found in? Okay, where they are found? Hybrid computers are found in, yeah, petrol stations, electrocardiogram. Okay, so in other like precise computing technologies like medical instrumentation, I told you about electrocardiogram. Okay, then ultrasound machines, very good, Shweta. So not just research institute that these hybrid computers are found. Okay, so very good answer. Hats off for your response. I hope you can move on to next question. Yeah, response was fine. But out of these 148 students, only 10 people are responding. That's not right. Okay. I need more responses. I need dynamic responses. Okay. I know you are tired, but still, these are very simple questions. So I expect dynamic responses from you at this moment. Okay. So now moving on to the next question. Yeah. This is another model question. ICT specifications. Which of the ICT specification enhance governance and public service? Real-time data dashboard, digital identity systems, online tax filing, augmented reality gaming. So, public service governance. Which of the ICT specifications enhance governance and public service? Governance and public service, real-time data dashboard, digital identity systems, online tax filing, augmented reality gaming. Okay, we tell option 1, some of you tell option 4. More responses are waited. Okay. Yes. Making sense. Majority answer is option 1. That is the right answer. Okay. Because what real-time data dashboard is always available, especially that includes a lot of numerical data. Say, for example, Chief Minister's Disaster Relief Fund is there for every state. CMDRF is there for every state. So whenever a disaster comes, this we all deposit money to CMDRF. Okay, in every state there is a CMDRF. That fund is there. So there we can get the real-time data, how much amount is being debited, how much of it is being spent. Okay, the real-time dashboard is always available. Okay, similarly, how many courses are available. So this is applicable in higher education as well. How many courses so far listed in Swayamprabha? How many students got benefited? That dashboard is always formed. Okay, so this is what can we call real-time data dashboard. Then digital identity systems, say for example, Aadhaar is already given in the question. Okay, online tax filing is something very related to governance. So all three are good. But augmented reality gaming is nowhere related to governance, but it is related to education, especially school education, and of course, this competitive exam education. We have the quizzes for where we have this augmented reality gaming, but in governance, we haven't seen this kind of an augmented reality gaming system and everything. Okay, so that's why we say only A, B, and C applies here. Okay, so I hope you understood that. Okay, I don't think much explanation is required there. Okay, shall we move on to the next question then? Shall we move on to the next question? Okay. Yes, I hope it is an S. Okay. Yes. So we are moving on to the next question. Here we go. It's an ask the following question. Analog computers, digital computers, hybrid computers, and supercomputers at the left-hand side, and its characteristics at the right-hand side. We have to match the column A with column B, and we have the options given towards here. What is an analog computer? What is a digital computer? What's a hybrid computer? What's a supercomputer? The characteristics are already given. Question again simple. Mixed responses. I love that because I have the room for explanation if I get mixed responses. Yes. Analog computers. What do they perform? Digital computers performs what? Hybrid computers, that you all know, analog and digital computers together. Supercomputer, extremely high computation. So C3D4, how many options? C3D4, only one option. That is A1, B2, C3D4. That's how you finally landed an answer when the options are confusing or the right hand side is confusing. Okay, so analog computers are all as you know, processes continuous data. That's why in speedometers, old analog speedometers, we see that continuous data processing. Aircraft monitors, we see this continuous data processing. So analog computers process continuous data. Digital computers, on the other hand, performs arithmetic and logical operations. Digital data that we all and we have learned is like it performs only digital data. That includes LUCU together. Do you remember? All the personal computers, personal data processors that we use are digital computers. So logical and arithmetical operations together with the help of ALU, they perform arithmetic logic unit. I hope you remember, right? Yes, that's why that option matches together. Hybrid computers, as you all know, combines the features of both analog and digital. Supercomputers are extremely faster. So that's how the answer becomes option 1. Okay. So I hope there is no doubt. There is no room for doubt there. Anyone who have chosen the other options? Anyone? Any doubt? Did I explain you well? Shall we move on to the next question? Shall we move on to the next question, my dears? Yes, clear. Okay, thank you, Sangeeta, for the responses, and Deva. Now we are moving on to the next question. Which type of computer is known for embedded systems and everyday appliances? Every one of you can answer clearly. Every one of you can answer this question. Very simple question. Mainframe computer, supercomputer, mini computer, microcomputer. As you all know, supercomputer is not an everyday appliance. It cannot be maintained by a common person, so that option can be omitted. Supercomputers are maintained only by R&D, research and development, weather forecast, and like countries and large organizations maintain them. So not for everyday application. Mainframe computers used for what? As you all know, mainframe computers are used for as data servers. This mini computers used for small scale businesses, accounting, billing. But for everyday applications, majority of you have selected option C. I didn't notice that. Come on. Forgot everything. For everyday application, which computer that we all use? Forgot the classification in a while because we are dealing with a lot of serious things only. These are very, 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 very basic things. Come on. Yeah, general purpose computers. How many of you at least did the right answer at the beginning? Nobody? Come on, my students. This is not the way. This is not something that I expect. Because I always know you all will be confused between mini computer and microcomputer. Don't ever let that happen again. Okay. Okay. So which is that everyday computer? Yes, everyday computer is microcomputer, the pocket size gadgets that we use, and the personal computers that we use as laptops, smartphones, okay, and embedded systems like Alexa, uh, enabling Internet of Things, okay, like they can create an ecosystem within our home itself called personal area networks. All these things I hope you remember. So there, microcomputers actually work in between. Okay, so that is the answer. Okay, microcomputers are the answer. Okay, so don't make this mistake. I hope you will correct. You will just okay. You will just clear off this against all these odds that we have done the upcoming questions that you will make more better responses, I hope. With that hope that I give you another question, much repeated, much discussed in our regular classes. And of course, it's the PYQ, December 2021. Every one of you should make the right answer or else TFT. TFT is related to what? This has been discussed multiple times in our class, so I expect everyone to answer this right, expecting that every one of you have revisited those questions, done your revision properly, gone through the materials. If so, you will be able to answer this. Such kinds of questions are often repeated in this session just to know how many of you have gone through that. Expecting that our YouTube students are also here, I have brought a lot of PYQs in that regard, but unfortunately, they couldn't get the steady responses. Okay. Sorry that I forgot to. Yeah, I forgot them actually. Sorry. I hope the YouTube link is working right now. Okay. Okay. So you guys please wait for me for your YouTube friends. Please wait for me for your YouTube friends. Let me check Vallath Education channel. This Vallath Education YouTube channel. So the live stream data can also be processed at this moment. Yes, my face is already there. Yes. Yeah, students are making responses. Satya, yes, good. Okay, so the majority option is option D. Sorry, option 2. Sorry, that was some, yeah. So option 2 is the majority option. Of course, TFT is related to monitor. What is the full form of TFT? TFT, full form of TFT. How many of you know full form of TFT? How many of you know the full form of TFT? TFT stands for thin film. How many of you know? Yes, thin film transistor used in LCDs to improve image quality. Okay, thin film transistor. Okay, thin film transistor is the answer. Okay, so thin film transistors are used in LEDs. Okay, for better response. Yeah, better image quality. Okay, so that is the answer. I hope now we can move on to the next question. The YouTube babies are also doing it well. Okay, now we are moving on to the next question. Sharpness of a monitor screen depends upon what? Sharpness of a monitor screen. This is also a PYQ, forgot to mention the year. This was also discussed in our classes. Sharpness of a monitor screen depends upon what? Is that the size, number of pixels, number of parts, or the image size? Size, number of pixels, number of parts, image size. Majority response. B, 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 B. Majority response is B. Let's check the answer. Of course, that's the right answer. Number of pixels determines the sharpness, not the number of parts or the size of the television or the monitor or the image. Okay, but the number of pixels determine the sharpness of the monitor screen. Very good, every one of you. Okay, so moving on to the explanation. Higher pixel density increases the image clarity and sharpness. So monitor size does not determine sharpness unless the pixel count changes. Okay, dots per inch, such kind of units that we all use for that. Okay, DPI. Okay, so that is the answer. Now moving on to the next question. Another PYQ, I believe, from June 2023. A PYQ. Which of the following components are a part of CPU of the von Neumann model computer system? Von Neumann model computer system. Which of the following holds a part of the CPU according to von Neumann model? Arithmetic logic unit, hard disk drive, memory address register, solid state drive, control unit. This question might be new to the YouTube students. This is an opportunity for them to make an attempt. But I believe our regular students have already gone through this. So it's for them, it's for your friends that I brought this question again. Okay. Don't mistake that I'm just bringing on and on the very same questions that we have discussed in our Russian classes. But it's for your friends out here. This is a PYQ. So your friends also have that exposure to all these questions. Okay, of course. So it's for them that I'm bringing it again. And for you, it's the revisiting of your revision sessions. Okay. So which is the answer? Some of you say A, C, E, some of you say 1, some of you say 4. Okay, A, C, E, that's the majority response that everybody is trying to convey. Okay, let me check the answer. Then the option 4 is the right answer. Very good, very good, very good, very good. I'm so proud of you, everyone in the YouTube and in the Zoom. Yes, the answer is ACE. Arithmetic logic unit, memory address register, and control unit only are the parts of CPU system. Okay, because von Neumann considers CPU as a brain of computer, the main component. ALU for arithmetic operations, CU for controlling all the operations inside the processor. MAR or memory address register holds memory addresses from which data need to be fetched. Okay, in the memory unit, lot of data is stored. As you all know, C drive, where all the BIOS, booting files and everything is stored. So in which all the cells these things are stored, that is handled by the register, okay, memory address register. In which cell address such kind of things are stored, managed by MAR. Okay, so that where the data need to be sent, where the data is stored, from where the data need to be fetched, everything is managed by the register. So that's why I told you registers are super fast units inside the CPU. Okay, even faster than cache memory. Okay? So that's what memory address register means. That holds a part of CPU itself. Okay, according to von Neumann model. Okay, that is his classification. Okay. I hope I have answered this question. Shall we move on to the next question then? Shall we move on to the next question? We have more questions awaiting you. So here comes, okay, I hope you are all ready for the next question. Here comes your next question. That's a match the following question with the input, output, memory units, and software at left-hand side. And it's examples at right-hand side. Simple. Everyone of you can answer easily. Especially made for the YouTube babies, but the Zoom guys will easily answer this. I'm sure about this. Yes. Which is the input unit, which is the output unit, which is the memory unit, which is the software unit. Yes. Yes. Question is simple. Even the options are even more simple. So the answer too will be simple. What about this YouTube babies? This was asked in the November 2020. You see, in the exam, they have asked a very simple question like this. Every one of you can answer this. Okay, in November 2020, this was the way they have asked. Okay, so which is the answer? Yes, Yeah, they will ask such kind of questions. Definitely, at least one question you will get like this. Okay, very simple. Don't worry, 30% of questions are like this. Okay, so the answer, of course, is option 4 because it is already matched. Input unit, mouse is an input unit, monitor is an output unit, cache is a memory unit, software. Right. Okay, Python is a software. Okay, Python is a software, data analysis software. Okay, so this is a question. This was a question that was asked in November 2020. Okay, moving on. I hope no further explanation required. Everybody got the answer. Now we are moving on to the next question. Assertion reason type, not a PYQ, but can you answer this? Is a question. Assertion reason. This kind of questions also you can expect. So, especially brought for the YouTube babies again. SSDs. Question about SSDs. We have discussed a lot about SSDs in our regular classes. So, Zoom students definitely can answer this easy. At least those who attended our tuition sessions. I talked a lot about SSDs. We have done a lot of questions about SSDs, how they work, multiple questions about SSDs that we have dealt already. SSDs are faster than traditional hard disk drives. Is that right? But are more expensive per gigabyte. That you all know, you have the practical knowledge. SSDs flash memory with no moving parts, while HDDs magnetic rotating players with mechanical or read-write heads. I have already told you about this in the class. Which one is faster, HDD or SSD? That you all know. I'm getting notification my connection is unstable. Please let me know if such things happen. Okay. So yes, majority of you tell option 1, which is the right answer. Because R explains A. No need of an explanation tab right here or an explanation box right here because reason itself explains the assertion. Okay. So this is where the answer comes. Okay. So I hope nobody has any kind of doubts. Yes. Now we are moving on to the next question. Okay. So time for the next question from December 2021. So storage capacity is being given. At least some of you who has attended the last revision session, PYQ session, might have gone through this question. We have done some exercises. Even I got puzzled for a moment. How many of you remember those episodes? How many of you remember? I hope you all remember those episodes. Yes, Linsha, you remember, I know. Yes. And Vipa, very good. So do it again. PYQ, always for PYQs. Yes. Correct order of storage capacities. Correct order for storage capacities. Wait a second. Storage capacity. Yes. 1500 megabytes means how much? 1500 megabytes means 1024 bytes make 1 kilobyte. So 1.5, yeah, 1500, 1024 megabytes, of course, make what? Yeah, more than 1 GB then. So which one comes first? Which one comes second? Okay, some of you say option 1, some says 4, some says yes, ECB is 4. Okay, so from largest to smallest capacity, that is a question. So largest one obviously is 2 terabytes that you all know, but you have two options, D and like 1 and 4. So D, what comes after D is a question. Is that A or C? Of course, 1 gigabyte means 1024 megabytes. But we have 1500 megabytes out here. So that comes what? Yes. 1500 megabytes means more than 1024 megabytes. So which is the answer then? Which is the answer then? Largest capacity. Okay, I'm going to check the answer. Answer is 1. Come on, do your mathematical calculation. You see, right here. We have already done this question. Why is still wrong answers? 2 terabytes, 2 into 10 raised to 12, or like, as you all know, 2 into 1024 gigabytes. So 2 terabytes is highest, that you all know. 1 gigabyte is 1 into, like, 1 gigabyte is how much? Don't look at this complex calculations. 1 gigabyte is 1024 megabytes, which is higher or which is larger, 1024 or 1500. 1500 is greater than 1024. Apply that logic. By applying that logic, D, A, C, and finally 5 kilobytes smallest capacity here. Simple. Okay, so I have given this exponential values and everything here. No such complex things. Simple logic. 1024, the magical number that we all know. Okay, with which you can answer this question simply. Okay, this question was asked in December 2021. We have already discussed this question once in the class. Okay, I have given you another experiment method to know you all have this very same logic being applied on your heads again. But I can understand it's this time of the day. Your brain is so tired. That's why you are finding it difficult to answer. Don't worry, we have more questions right here. Number system. Number system. Some of you have just asked me how to do such kind of questions. Okay, that's why I wrote something like this again, and this was asked in July 2022. So first is a statement. ASCII is a character encoding scheme, acronym for American Standard Code for Intelligent Information. Okay, yes. Yes, let's my Zoom babies are doing for second time. Still, they are making a lot of mistakes. That disappoints me a lot. Anyway, I will again give you questions again and again till it gets the row to you. Tomorrow also I will bring some questions for the vision classes itself. And you know how many of you are making mistakes again and again. Okay, do prepare with all the vision. Okay, so that you can answer a lot of things. Yes. For you guys, statement 1, is that correct that you all have to know? Yes, but statement 2. 37.25 is equal to 100,101.01. How to do this? How to do this? Actually, yeah, I got a glance of the answer. Is the statement 1 correct? I want only one question. You don't know, you might not know how to do the second one, but okay, but how? Like, first statement. Answer the first statement. Is that right? American Standard Code for Intelligent Information? No. So statement 1 is incorrect. And you all know. But there is an option called both statement 1 and statement 2 are false. So there's a chance that this thing will also be false, which we have to verify. Okay. So how to verify that? Of course, the statement 1, it stands for ASCII, ASCII, we call it completely. American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Font styling it is, okay? Character encoding scheme, okay? For like, to use multiple languages and characters, we use this ASCII and everything. Okay, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. But the question, like 37.25, is that is equal to 100,101.01. Okay, that is the question. So how to do this? Okay, here is our task. So I will, first of all, what you have to do is like split this number 37.25, the integer part and the decimal part. Okay, so first of all, what you have to do is like to convert this 37. All you know is like to convert a normal decimal number, okay, without decimal points. Okay, so you are able to convert this kind of a number to its binary equivalent, right? Then you all know, right, how to convert 32 to it, sorry, 37 to its binary equivalent. 37 to its binary equivalent. How to convert it, you all know by using long division method. Okay. So can you do this right now? So doing long division method means dividing it only by 2. Okay, dividing it only with 2 and preserving the reminders on the right hand side. So 2 ones are 2. Again, 2 and 3, 2 completely not contained in 3. 2 ones are 2. One remainder is here. 1, 7 combined. 2 8s are 16. Okay, 18 into 2, 36. That you all know. Remainder 1. Never forget to put this remainder right here. Then again dividing it with 2. You all know 2 9s are 18. So the remainder is 0. Never forget to put the remainder 0 here. Okay. Now again dividing it with 2. 2 4s are 8. 1 is the remainder. Then 2. 2s are 4. 0. Am I doing it right? Just check whether I am making mistake. Okay. I'm also tired like you. So concentration matters. Okay. Then 2. Ones are 2. 0. Never forget that. Combine the last quotient plus all these reminders from bottom to top in this direction that you have to do. From bottom to top. For you to babies that I am explaining it again. So here what you get is like, yes, 1 double 0, word say 1 0 0 1 0 1. Okay, so this is one of the setups. Okay, this is one conversion, but that's not the end. We have the 0.25. So as you all know, the integer part, okay, the left hand side of the point table, which you divide by 2. But what happens after the right hand side of the decimal points? Okay, the 0.25, there you have to multiply by 2. Okay, so what you have here is 0.25. Here you have to obtain a proper integer. Okay, that we have to obtain something on the other side of the point. Okay, on the other side of the decimal point. Until that, we have to multiply it with 2 until you get a product at the other side of the decimal point. Okay, so we have to multiply it with 2. This is the process. Okay, so 0.25 into 2 is 0.5. Okay, so 0.25, 25 into 50, that you all know. 0.50 is equal to 0.5, that you all know. Okay, so what happens here? Yes, what happens here? Still you have 0 at the left hand side. Okay, so that we have to preserve that 0 there. Okay, so 0 is you can write either here, but just because you don't have much space here, that's why I have written here. So we have to multiply first time what you obtained at the other side of the decimal point, 0 again. Now we have to take this 0.5 and multiply it with 2 again. On the other side, we have divided it with 2 until you get 1. But here we have to multiply it with 2 until you get 1. Okay. So here again you multiply it with 2 and you obtain 1. Okay. 1.0 or 1. So 2 times that you obtained. Okay. And what you obtained right now here at the other side of the points table is 1, which you write down here. Combining it in the proper order from top to bottom, you get 0.01. And the other thing that you have already obtained here, 1 double 0. Yes, 1 0 1 0 1. Okay, 1 0 1 0 1. We are doing it with 2 only because it's a binary number that we are dealing with. Okay, so Gaurinanda, I hope you remember that we have discussed this in the class, because we are going to convert a decimal to its binary equivalent. That's why binary 2. Okay, that's why we are dealing with 2 only. Okay, so now, yes, 1 0 0 1 0 1 point 0 1. Okay, this 0.01 comes from these kinds of products that we have obtained, the 0 and 1 that we have obtained here. This is the decimal equivalent of, sorry, this is the binary equivalent of the decimal number 37.25. So statement 2. What was statement 2? Was statement 2. Statement 2 says, yeah, 37.25 is equal to 1001010. Okay, 1001010.01 to the base 2. Is that right? Yes, it is right. So I hope you all got the idea. Any doubts, anyone? Any doubts, anyone? Okay. Yes. So for decimal, okay. So I hope this is clear to you. So shall I just clear the screen? Shall I just clear the screen? Okay, so we are moving on to the next question. No complex questions like this anymore, okay? Because yeah, it's time, it's only time. So we have 10 more minutes as Grishma ma'am has provided to me. So now, next question, protocols and functions. Okay, 1 came because 0.25 into 2 is 0.5, 0.5 into 2 again 1.0. So 2 times that we have given that. Jacinth. So we are combining whatever there in the left side of the decimal point, 0 and 1. Until you obtain 1, you have to do the multiplication. So you have obtained 2 quotients, 0 and 1. That's how just that we have obtained the answer. Zero we obtained at the beginning. 0.25 into 2 is 0.5. So 0 was again pertaining there. Then again we did 0.5 into 2 again. So 1.0. So the earlier 0 and the later 1 was taken together. So we have the protocols at the left hand side. Yeah, just it's my pleasure. We have the protocols at the left hand side. Okay, okay. So after multiplied 2 times, what you did? Okay. It's like that after multiplying it 2 times, I have combined whatever there is in the left hand side of the. I am explaining to YouTube students, okay? Whatever there was there in the left hand side of the decimal point, I was combining together, just like we are combining the reminders, the long division method. Okay. So that was the thing that I have. Okay, so here we are coming back to the protocols. SMTP for what? FTP for what? POP3 for what? IMAP for what? SMTP stands for what? What is the full form of SMTP? SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. POP3 stands for Post Office Protocol version 3. IMAP stands for Internet Mail Access Protocol. So I think now you got the answer. So simple mail transfer protocol aligns with sending emails. A2. How many options? A2. 2 options. A2. 1 and 3. Now FTP for file transfer protocol. File transfer B1. A2, B1 only one option. Of course. Yeah. Yes. Then verifying the other option. C3. POP receiving emails, for downloading emails. Yes, post office protocol. IMAP protocol for accessing emails. Internet message access protocol. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, yes. So which is the option? Of course, option 1 is the answer. Option 1 is the answer. Now moving on to the next question. Okay, which of the topology offers highest fault tolerant controllers computing? Without options, can you answer this question? Without options, can you answer this question? Highest fault tolerance computing without options. How many of them? Highest fault tolerance computing is done by which network topology? How many of you from the regular batch? Yes. So here we have the options: bus, ring, star, mesh. Which is the answer? So the answer is yes. Answer is option D, mesh, because highest fault tolerance, each device is connected to every other device in it. Sorry, YouTube babies. It's again gone. YouTube is again gone. I cannot help. Sorry, that's up to the operators. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Okay, I hope they will upload this recording, continuous recording in the coming days. Okay, so yes, so mesh topology, each device is connected to every other device, ensuring communication even if one path fails. So option D, mesh is the answer. Okay, moving on. I hope nobody has any kinds of doubts. Okay, next question. Which among the following file formats are suitable for distributing video files across internet? This question was asked in October 2022. Okay. So distributing video files across internet. Okay, what happened to YouTube actually? So I am still confused about. Okay. So I think I cannot do any kind of assistance. Anyway, better to leave it, I think. Yes, better to leave it. Yeah, the YouTube link has already vanished. Oh no, no, cannot go to YouTube. If I get onto YouTube link, it will be a messy situation here. Okay, I'm touching it. If it works fine, don't touch it. That's how what programmers often say. Yes. So do this question. Which of the following file formats is for distributing video files across internet? .wme, .wav, .midi, .mp3, .mp4. Choose the correct option. Distributing video files across internet. WMV, Windows Media Video. .wav, audio, right? WA stands for what? MIDI, MIDI files are used for, like, if you are a very good speaker, you can use MIDI. MP3, yes. MP3 is audio that you all know. MP4 is video that also you all know. For video files, so MP4 is one option. Anything that opens on Windows Media Player is .wmv. There's other formats are also working, but WMV E should come. You have an option like that. Yes. Option 2. Majority of you have answered that option 2. I'm so happy that you are reading the tables of formats that I have provided you. Yes, because dot WMV, Windows Media Video File, MP4, MP4, MIDI, multimedia audio that kind of, because original studio quality audio is MIDI. Okay. WAV, I think the recording quality, I think. MP3 is the normal quality. Okay. MIDI is the original studio quality. Okay. So MP3, so B, MP4, AE. The question is about video files, Insha. So yeah, WMV is video file. MP4 is video file. MP4 is in option B and D. Option B. Option D. Where musical
Sir, I
instrument is
told that I eliminate option D, option C, so that I told.
okay. Is that the upper side or the lower side?
No, sir, in option 2 and option 3, E is coming. MP4 is coming, so that I eliminate that 1 and 4, so that I
Okay.
got the answer. That's what I told.
Okay. Now it's clear. Okay. So yeah, that's a good sign of choosing your answer. Okay. So we are moving on to the next question. Very good, Rinsha. Uh, Good tips and tricks shared among your friends. Okay, eliminating some of the options can make you finally land into the answer of the elimination method. Okay, very good. Study, apply all these things. Now this 2024 question has been asked. Here we have the terms at the left-hand side, descriptions at the right-hand side, the authentication, biometrics, IP address, MAC address. So, and the face which device is connected with given IP address relies on certain unique characteristics of human beings, such as retina scans, verifies data coming from secure and trusted source, identifies where on the network the device is located. Seems like a very tough question, but you are well prepared with all these things, so you all can answer this. You know, with your common logic, your common knowledge, you have already dealt with all these things. You are talking about these terms every day. Biometrics, you all know. Even on ration shop, you have biometrics. Authentication that you all do every day, SMS verification, OTP verification, authentication. Two-step authentication in your WhatsApp, two-step verification, you all do every day. So authentication means what? Verification, right? Of a trusted source. Okay. Then biometric means what? Yes, human identifiers being used, not recognize something. IP address of the device in the field of internet. So identifies the network where the device is connected. Then MAC address identifies the device at a given IP address. So which is the answer? Yes, it is. It is the answer. My system has got some kind of MAC. Wait. Yes, option 2 is the answer. Okay. So option 2 is the answer. Very good. That you all, I think every one of you, yes, literally every one of you got that right. Very good. Even if that was a tough question, every one of you got that right. Good going, good going. Another question from August 2024. Medium of internet is described as what? Restricted possibility, unimpressive theology, universalist, reductive, electronic assembly. Yes. Bringing very tough feast for every one of you. Very heavy dinner for every one of you again. Very hard to digest. Still, chew it up. Try to chew it to the maximum and finally obtain the answer. Medium of internet. Does it have restricted possibility? Unimpressive theology. Universalist makes sense. Adaptive. electronic assembly, CDE makes sense. Okay, make that attempt. Okay, many of you telling option 3, CDE, that's right answer. It's not redemptive. Like, it's not like unimpressive or restricted. Redemptive means internet can provide transformative qualities because it enables you to access information, education, communication. That's what it's called redemptive. Multiple transformative qualities. Redemption, transformation can happen through internet. It is universal. Everyone has access. It's an electronic assembly because you are in the digital space. Okay, it's an electronic assembly. Everyone is assembled on the space called internet. Okay, so it brings people together to a digital space. That's why it's called electronic assembly. Okay, it's not restricted. It's not inclusive. Okay, so that is the answer. Now, moving on. June 2025 question. Which of the following statements are correct? Worm can be hardware and software. Cookies are used to store browsing information. Sandbox detection is a malware identification method. HTTP has better security than HTTPS. Trojan is an antivirus. So, how many of you can answer this? Very recently, we have discussed this question. Brought to you for the, unfortunately, for the YouTube babies who couldn't get the benefit of the day to varied reasons. Okay, it's no, we don't have time to log out again and come back again. I lost almost 20 or 30 students in that log out, last log out that we have done. Okay. Yes. Worm can be hardware and software. Oh. Keys are used to store browsing information. Sandbox detection is a malware identification method. Is it? HTTP better security than HTTPS. Trojan is an antivirus. Which is the answer? A, B, C, C and D, B and C, B and D. So the following statements are correct. Answer is option 3. That every one of you got that right? Yes. Because what malware, like worm is a type of malicious software, not a hardware. It's software only. Applicates themselves to spread ecosystem. So it's not as hardware, it's a software. Worm is identified only as software, even if it's called malware or malicious software. Okay. Cookies, of course, we accept or reject cookies, store our browsing data. Okay, so cookies stores our browsing data, logging different side everything. Sandbox detection used in cyber security space. Okay, in a controlled environment to detect any kind of malware behavior, especially in the beta versions and all. Okay, HTTPS is secure, not HTTP. HTTP is unsecure. HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Okay, so HTTPS is secure, not HTTP. So that statement is also false. Okay. Then Trojan is actually a virus. Okay, so not an antivirus, it's a malware. Trojan itself is a malware. Okay, not an antivirus. Okay. We use antivirus to restrict Trojan. Okay, Trojan tools are all malwares. So that is the answer. Now, I hope YouTube babies were here. Should have been a free hit for them. But unfortunately, you have the opportunity for the free hit. After all the previous discussions, you got a very easy question. Full form of Diksha. Diksha, digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing, digital institute for knowledge sharing, data information and knowledge sharing, digital institution for knowledge sharing. Diksha stands for, yes, digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. Okay, every one of you got that right. Yes. Now, moving on to the next question. Yes, it's a okay. This is an explanation for Diksha. okay, for school education launched by Ministry of Education. Okay. So now, which of the following are the main benefits of networking computers and devices rather than using a number of standalone computers? A question from June 2025, last exam. Question from last exam, again. Following are main benefits of networking computers and devices rather than using a number of standalone computers. Devices such as printers can be shared, thus reducing cost. Licenses to run software on networks are often far cheaper than buying licenses for standalone computers. Okay. Users cannot share files and data. The statements about networking is access to reliable data comes from a central source such as file server. So how many of you are making it right? How many of you are responding right? Question from June 2025. Yes. So option D is the majority option. Now answer is option D. That's right answer. Okay. Because devices such as printers can be shared through a network. Okay, so by using LAN cable systems, you can set up a local area network where printers can be shared. It is always used in the photocopying, Photoshop, Xerox shops uses technology. License to run networks are cheaper than buying license for a good number of standalone computers. Of course, you set up a network, you buy a license for one single network so that all computers in network can use those licenses. So that is cheaper. That statement is also right. Users cannot share files and data through a network. That is nonsense because the main benefit of local area network or whatever area network that you use is data sharing or file sharing. Okay, so that is a wrong statement. Access to reliable data comes from the central source of the server. Okay, of course, in our office, the server is something that connects all the computers. So that's source of data. So 1, 2, and 4 is the answer. Okay, so that marks the uh, question sessions today. Any kinds of doubts, anyone? I know it's too late. Still, if you have any kind of clarity issues regarding anywhere, anytime, anyone, just trying to maybe explain. Anyone having any kind of problems or doubts? Okay. Is that all? Anybody having any kind of issues in the current session today that we have gone through? Last question was not easy. Okay, last question wasn't easy for you. Okay, what happened to last question? Okay, devices from net device. Okay, and then is about. So network, local area network. Imagine a local area network where our computers in a Xerox shop are connected together. Computers in a Xerox shop are connected together, okay, to the printer. So you are attending one of the computers by the technicians. Okay, so he is attending you, and finally you are getting the printout from the printer. The other side, the other person, another person also there at the kiosk. Okay, so that person can also make the printout. So multiple computers can be connected to a common printer in a local area network. So that's the first stage. Then licenses. Of course, you have Microsoft or such kind of paid software systems, which if you buy for each separate computer, MS Office, I think that cost around 2000 rupees for one single computer. But if you that buy for one single network, every computers in that network can use it for 2000. And rather than buying it for 5 computers, that goes 2 into 5 is 10,000. Instead of buying it for 10,000 for each 5 computers, buy it for one network so that every computer in the network can use it. So that is more cost effective. Okay, so that is the second statement. Users cannot share files or data in a network. That is purely wrong. Okay, in a local area network, they can all share their data among computers. Okay, so that is a third statement. Access to reliable data comes from the central source. Of course, servers store, say for example, you have a finance company. Okay, all the customer records are stored in the server of the finance company. So that whenever the customer arrives for any kind of dealings with the finance company, immediately they will fetch the data in the computer. It will be fetched from the server. Okay, if this finance company is having multiple branches across the city, all these computers are connected to one server. So all the data will be fetched from this server. Okay, so this is what fourth statement means. Okay, I hope this is clear to you now. Gauri, Nanda, and Deepika, is that clear to you? Yes. Okay, so others have left. So I hope I have answered your questions here. Okay, so yes. So this marks the end of today's session. Okay. So I hope I have cleared your doubts as well. So thank you for your patient listening up to 10:30 and bearing with all our technical niggles from the side of YouTube and Vallath. So hope that we can bring about a niggle-free or a hassle-free experience tomorrow. Okay. I will have a session on Indian logic tomorrow. Okay, we'll see you it's more early, like 7 o'clock or something like I'll be coming for you. Okay, so you will have a session on Indian logics tomorrow by 7 o'clock from my side. Okay, others will also join, just like today. Okay, so thank you everyone. See you tomorrow.